Vegeta, what does the scouter say about their subscriber count?
It's 9,010.
Wait, so you mean...
Yes, Nappa. It's over.
It's over?
It's over 8,000!
What eight? Wait, what?
There is a story so strange in its implications that it defies ordinary classification.
I don't care if you've been waiting for the Russo cut all night. If you up, smash that like button. Welcome to Black and the Black Times Infinity. I'm your host, Lulu's Party, coming to you live and direct from the stack. Smoke me out, fam, with that dang shit. On my left, old ninja of the world, old ninja.
Never trust a word in the post right there.
Yeah. On my far right, engineering on the ones and twos, talking about the green post.
Oh, my neck! Oh, my back! Oh, my neck and my back.
That's it. Last but not least, we got your boy Blue.
Hey.
Short and sweet. Short and sweet. All right, we back up in here live on a Wednesday. Doing a damn thing.
Back up in the...
Are we live every Wednesday?
Yes, we are, but we back again.
Same,
You wasn't here last week.
same black channel, same black time.
There we
We're
go.
doing this one
Blackish.
more again. one again.
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
you know, the fucking army says that shit. It fucking drives me nuts. I'm like, you can't do one more again. It's one more or again. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, who we got in the
Anyway,
chat?
first in the chat, we Warrior Fella. Good
What's
to see
up,
you
fam?
again. And listener of the week would be, oh man, I'm on the wrong fucking screen here. Now I got a bullshit for time. I
It's
pressed the wrong
Pornhub
fucking
screen.
buttons.
I saw
It's all
Fuda.
good. What's wrong with Fuda? I'm just
It's
saying.
probably a bot.
Listener of
bot.
the week would be user 926958861 and Ab, AB.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
We got some listeners in Russia now.
Oh, there we go.
Pretty interesting.
Spy.
All right.
Trying to find out what's going on in this country.
Help us out with some bots, goddammit. Get our shit known.
Yeah. Working some numbers.
There you go. Oded, you was out last week. I don't think we had any celebrity RIPs pouring out malt beverages, right?
Y'all talk about
yes,
Bush.
Bushwick Bill. I think we missed that one last
Did
week.
you miss that one last week?
No, I think he passed away.
He passed away last week. Because it was like a rumor and then it was real on the same day. It was kind of fucked up.
Was it after our show? Okay. All
No,
right.
it was
I think
before
we-
the show, I'm pretty sure.
No, I think we did touch on it.
Did we? I don't know.
I can't remember.
I had to
I
step
don't
away.
remember.
All right, we can do
right after I
Bushwick.
started, so.
Yeah.
Put it out
We
there.
have to do it one more
Bill.
time.
Bushwick Bill from Mobb Deep.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Just kidding. From the Ghetto Boys.
There we go. All right.
Yeah, he's been in trouble a lot. He shot himself in the face once.
I remember that.
Right in the eye. Took out his own eye. He was going through some things, but he survived that. They cut an album after that. He was...
And him in the ER was actually on the cover of that album.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
get
It was
wheelchaired
fucked
out.
up.
Yeah.
like, so the cover of the album is a picture of them in the hospital just after he shot himself.
Yeah. I should put that out for the folks listening, man.
I got to see that shit again?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of
that
much
was, that was
All
an
right,
iconic cover.
Apparently I do. All right.
So Bushwick, I guess the PC term is a dwarf. Is that correct?
A little person, I think.
Yeah, he's a little person or dwarf. Because he's taller than Vern Troyer.
Let's call him a little person.
Yeah, but he's probably maybe a little same height, taller than Peter Dinklage. But yeah, little person.
I think there's a difference between a little person and a dwarf.
I think there is, and
I
it's
think a dwarf
classified
is
by
like
height.
proportionated. Yeah.
something like that.
All right, so this is it's gonna be a little graphic.
Well, graphic, it's on the cover of the album.
It is, but it's also print. Well, I guess it's 18 and over. So
Our broadcast is rated R.
Shit.
Yeah, we faded and X-rated.
If I can open the limit, hold on,
Yeah.
I gotta get the image in a new tab. There we go. Goddamn, I'm being really stupid today.
Yeah, I remember that one.
All right, so this is the cover of that album of the Ghetto Boys album after he shot himself
In the
in
face.
the face.
You know what? I've never actually seen these guys before.
Are you
Really? Never
serious?
seen
Yeah, I've
Scarface?
never.
You know
No.
Scarface? Yeah.
I guess I have seen Scarface.
Look at the size of that phone.
I don't
It's
think
bigger than him.
Yeah, I don't think he actually shot himself. I think he actually used that phone once,
Yeah.
and that's what happened to him.
Cancer came quick.
Yeah, it just popped his eye right the fuck out.
Holy shit.
But R.I.P. though. He
He
had
was,
some good flow.
he was 52.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is fairly long time for a person of his stature or
Yeah.
size, I should say. So there you go.
R.I.P. to him.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
If anybody was wondering where Stitch is, I heard he went down to the Dominican Republic and had a little bit of alcohol down there.
Oh,
Damn.
Dude, it is
Yeah.
looking good down there, boy.
It
Ooh.
is
Been
looking
dropping
good.
left and right.
Nowhere.
Like, dude was like, my stomach hurt and went to his room and was dead the next day.
Mr. Stark, I
Are they-
don't feel so
Yeah.
good.
Are they eating and drinking the same thing?
Well, they're saying that it's a bad batch of alcohol.
Yeah, that's
a lot
what
of
they're
people,
saying.
So I'm just like, y'all couldn't figure out which one it was. I mean,
But like, I was gonna say there's different brands and whatnot. Or,
and different people at different time periods. They all
yeah,
just seem
that's.
And it's the same. I'm not sure if it was the same hotel or two different hotels.
I heard it was one.
I think they were just trying to get away with cutting their alcohol with something that was non-alcohol.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Some moonshine
I mean,
shit.
a lot of places do that. Shit, fucking Applebee's does it. So
No,
Cuts it with
no,
what?
they don't.
yeah, they do with water.
No, they don't.
Oh,
Yes, they
yeah.
do.
No, they do
Them
not.
fucking $1 margaritas, they put that shit in the fucking bucket and the shit's covered with fucking water.
It's covered with mix and water.
Yeah.
As long as it's not poison.
Yeah,
I'm
I
here
mean,
to give up industry secrets.
yeah, I mean, you
$1
could
margaritas are $1 for a reason.
Yeah, for real. Don't be bitching about this is only $1. Well, yeah, it's $1. What do you expect? It's not Patron for $1.
Did it make me when the Swedes and I went to Mexico? Not to Mexico. We went to Cozumel, somewhere. One of the islands down
Been
there.
Croton.
And the resort we stayed at was all inclusive, and we tried our damnedest to get drunk, and we did not get drunk at all. Like
Too
they
watered
had
down?
some watered down shit.
You should have had her speaking Spanish.
It was
man.
so
She-
bad.
she
Well,
did good shit.
even when she did speak Spanish, I mean the top of the line alcohol wasn't included in the package. Only like whatever they had there.
Oh.
But we learned that the side of the island, or where our rooms were, we had the adult only side, and they had a full bar there, and that one had the good stuff. And after we found that out, vacation became perfect.
There we go.
Yeah, that was like me on the. Well, actually, when I went on that cruise, I still got drunk, but then I figured out like the last couple days like what the best drinks were, and basically it was like a Manhattan. What was it called? A Manhattan iced tea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Long Island.
No, Manhattan iced tea.
Yeah, I think that one comes with like
Yeah.
bourbon. in it.
Bourbon.
And so it's like
Yeah.
stronger stuff.
Okay.
It'll get you fucked up. So yeah, it did its job. I think I paid like I don't know how much I paid, but it was basically like $56 a day, and they lost money. They definitely lost money on that shit. That was-
Good shit. All right, let's jump on the fuck on in here. Y'all want to start with this Avengers news that we just heard about? I guess it was hot off the presses fucking
Yeah,
today,
like
really.
today.
This does not surprise me in the
No.
least bit.
This is a Disney thing.
Tell what it is.
Yeah, so basically, the Russo brothers they're releasing a new cut of the Avengers, and they're re-releasing it in the theaters. And then people were just like, they were like, oh my goodness! And it's like they're only doing this to beat fucking Avatar. Like that's the only reason why they're doing this. I'm pretty sure they would have just left it for the Blu-ray edition, you know, or the home edition.
Yeah.
But this is the way you kick, Avatar into the dirt. Avatar was like the movie. First of all, it wasn't that great. It was like a really weird mix of It did way better overseas than it did in America. Which
Same with this,
which
too.
most people don't realize. Well, no, this one it crushed the opening weekend. Avatar did not crush the opening weekend.
Yeah, you're
At
right.
all.
Well, you're right, but it had these long legs domestically. And don't forget, Avatar was re-released in theaters.
Well, yeah. Well, I think the main thing was the re-release was important too, but it's also another movie where it was really good if you watched it in 3D. I generally don't like 3D movies, but that one was pretty good
great.
in 3D.
It was amazing in 3D.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it was just at the time where technology, they were introducing kind of newer technology and then showing how good it could be done.
Yep.
First by CGI and then by 3D. And hardly any movies did that except for Inception, which is another movie that did exceptionally well in the theaters. And that movie, hands down, that's one of the best movies in 3D to watch other than Jackass 3D. If you haven't watched that in 3D, that's probably my favorite movie in 3D to watch of all fucking time.
You said Inception?
Inception and Jackass 3D. Jackass 3D is my number one movie to watch in 3D.
Well, I think also for Avatar, I think it was all shot in IMAX format. Like
Yeah, it's
they
one of
used
the-
like the full screen layout.
Yeah, it's one of the
movie to make.
one of the first, one of the few that did
Yeah,
that.
because some would do like for example, Dark Knight, like the first 10 minutes is in IMAX size, and then it goes back down to the traditional theater size.
Well, but remember, for not only Avatar, but also for another James Cameron blockbuster, Titanic, they did the same thing in terms of the re-releases happen with these big movies that are about to be the highest grossing of all time. I think we talked about this before Endgame even got released, that they were going to shoot for the $3 billion mark, and to do that, you want to keep it in theaters as long as fucking possible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and this is a genius way to do it. I mean, say you're gonna put some extra stuff in there. Hopefully, Hulk will do something other than snap his fingers.
Yeah, that's...
You know, that'd
He
be
took
nice.
a selfie, too.
Yeah,
He did give what's name some tacos too. Can't remember
Yeah,
that.
man.
the number one heavy hitter on the whole fucking squad didn't punch nobody in the fucking movie.
Not at all.
I'd love to see them like fix that.
It'd be great, but I doubt that that's in this. But who knows? I'm just speculating. It sounds like it's going to be what, another 5 to 15 minutes of footage.
I'll watch
If
it again.
that-
I don't give a fuck. Just so I can beat Avatar.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
sure.
Yeah.
Put your money. What is it we always say? Speak with your wallets.
Oh yeah, people are going to. It's going to continue to get money. I didn't know it was completely out of theaters. I thought it was just in less.
No, it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was totally out. But I think the main reason why I want this to beat Avatar is because Avatar was a blatant ripoff of 2 movies, Fern Gully and Dances with Wolves, and Endgame was not a ripoff of any movie that I know of. So
I hear you on that. The only thing I'll give credit to Avatar for, though, is it wasn't part of a franchise either. Like, there was no, like,
well, I mean, it is
cinematic.
now.
No, it still isn't because the sequels haven't dropped.
Oh, but I'm saying, but it is a franchise. They just haven't dropped the movies yet.
Well, I would say it will
Wasn't.
be,
Yeah.
but it is not right now. And
gotcha.
again, these movies came out in like 2009. So, again, just an original movie, not part of a franchise, doing that was like unheard of.
I mean, it was an original movie, but not an original idea.
Sure, I'll give you
Yeah.
that. But yeah, not being part of a franchise, I gotta give some props to that.
What's funny is no matter which way you spin it, this all goes into Disney's pockets.
Oh yeah, because Avatar is
Avatar.
under Disney
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. So right now, Endgame is sitting at $2.7 billion. Wow.
And what was Avatar was like what 2.8?
Let me see.
I thought it was 2.8.
Yeah, it might be.
Or maybe it's
2.8.
2.79 or something.
Maybe.
It's close already. It's
Damn.
right
they'll
there.
probably beat the record in opening weekend.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Avatar is sitting at 2.78.
Yep. See?
There
so
you
it's
go,
barely.
right
Yeah,
there.
first
Yeah.
weekend they'll beat it.
So we got 2.7. So 2.787 versus
2.77.
Come on, refresh, damn it.
Actually, I hope they release it this summer because I really want to watch it with my oldest daughter, who's here. She
So-
got here on
Oh, yeah.
Saturday.
I think it comes out in just a week or two, right?
Oh, awesome.
In terms
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
re-release.
Okay.
So yeah, Avengers at 2.744. So they only need
there
like
you go.
another 34 million to be able to
That's nuts.
That's
match.
easy.
Yeah.
really
Especially
easy.
when we're talking about, is this a worldwide re-release or just a domestic re-release?
This is.
couldn't
I'm looking at worldwide right now.
No, I mean in terms of the re-release, are they doing it all over the world, the planet, or are they just doing it in the?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
doesn't say.
It doesn't.
Doesn't matter.
As long as it's in America, they'll get it.
Yeah.
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 So
I
But
think-
because
or
I
China.
know, I was gonna say I know that in Japan, I know that Pokemon Pikachu took Endgame out of the box office. Not out of the box
Yeah,
office,
that
but out of the
opening
top
weekend.
spot. Yeah.
that
but I
movie
mean-
movie made really good money.
Mhm.
It's still, I think it surpassed all the other video game adaptations in that genre.
Yeah.
So
I want to see it. I just don't want. I can only pick and choose what movies I watch in theaters now. So that did make the cut, but I still want to see it.
yeah, it's not a bad one. Not a bad one at all.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, I saw it.
I saw it too. It was pretty fun. It was a fun
Yeah.
movie.
But we'll see. We'll see with this one. I'm curious what this extra footage truly is.
Yeah,
I
same
think,
here.
and that curiosity is gonna propel a whole bunch of people, at least in my opinion.
Possibly. I mean,
Well-
I heard it may be just end credits. So
Well, I heard that
15
like
minutes of end credits? I doubt that.
I know there was
No.
talking about like alternate endings with Natasha maybe coming back for some
That
reason
would
or something.
distort a lot of the story that we already saw.
Well, I think it's when Nebula when Nebula gets killed. Or no, not Nebula. Gamora. When Thanos kills Gamora, it releases Natasha from the stone. I don't know. This is just
You
stuff
spec-
I read.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, well,
I'm
that-
reading some speculations.
That shouldn't happen. But anyway, even if they just had the same movie with end credits, I don't give a shit. I'll still watch it again.
There
yeah,
we go.
Just beat Avatar.
yeah. I plan on seeing it. Most of the people that I know that have seen it more than twice, and I've seen it twice.
There we
So
go.
You guys heard about the guy who's trying to go for the Guinness Book World Record for most movie views?
Very sad, lonely dude.
Yeah, so I think his goal is to watch it like 120 times, and I think
Oh
he's
my
hit
God.
the 100 mark. So
Oh,
almost
he's got another
there.
chance then.
Yeah.
He's got another chance to basically be a fucking loser.
Yeah.
All
man.
right, do something with your life other than watch movies.
That's
Yeah, I think
sad.
he's seen it 128 times, and I think the most is 200 times.
Think about that.
What?
It's a
These numbers are weird.
It's a 3-hour movie. You've done
Yeah.
it that many times. What the fuck?
Well, not even that. They're thinking about the price too. Like
Yeah.
Depends
20
on-
bucks at
that-
least.
that depends on where he lives.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It bare minimum $10 or $11, even if you out nowhere. So
It's thousands of dollars.
Yep.
Or over 1,000. Either way. Yeah. So can we talk about today's a special day?
Okay.
I didn't know.
What's
It's not on the list.
This is Juneteenth.
Yeah, it's Juneteenth.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of
We free, bitches.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion on what Juneteenth means, and I think that the people that went to the historically black colleges should talk about it.
Oh,
Either
sure.
One of you two Negroes.
Sure.
Okay. Juneteenth obviously is the emancipation. Well, when the news for the emancipation 2 years and some change
It's like after,
got to the last slaves on plantations in Texas. Can't remember exactly what part of Texas.
Actually, I got it. Hang on. Keep going.
Yeah, but in any event, that's on June 19th, 1860 something. God, I wish I should have the date right off the top of my head.
It's all good.
That's when Juneteenth as a quote unquote holiday started to happen. Now, it's something that a lot of people still are just now becoming familiar with. It's much bigger in the South, naturally so. And I think just this week or even today, Pennsylvania made it a state holiday, which was interesting. But yeah, Juneteenth is a big deal. There's festivals, including here in California, all over the place.
Yeah,
all this weekend.
I got to keep it 100. My dad would take me to Juneteenth festivals when I was a kid, but I didn't totally understand what it was for.
Okay. Fair.
I do now as an older guy.
Yeah.
But I didn't totally understand what it's for. I knew there's like a lot of, parties going on and like festivals and stuff. I thought it was really cool, but I didn't understand back then what it was for.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear something fucking stupid?
What's that?
I never knew what Juneteenth meant. I always thought it was like a in-between holiday for Christmas.
Oh, I should mention this. So the name Juneteenth kind of fucks people up because
Yeah.
it's not
It should be something different.
it's
but,
not.
yeah.
Well, the days of when these, last Texas slaves found out kind of varied depending on who you asked. So it could be anywhere from like June 13th to June 18th, 19th, and it was just kind of fuzzy. Again, we're talking about times when it was illegal for slaves to read and all of that other stuff. So Juneteenth was just kind of this amalgamation of like a phrase in terms of a time period.
So, dating back to 1865, which is three years
Okay.
after President Abraham Lincoln, proclamation. So it looks like
Emancipation
Yeah,
Proclamation?
yeah.
Oh, Ninja.
I'm
you
skipping
took,
stuff.
Hold on. Oh, Ninja took his glasses off and brought
I
his
did.
phone closer to his
I did.
face to mispronounce what the fuck the Emancipation Proclamation.
For a second, I thought I said it.
Yeah. My augmentation isn't fully optimized. So this was in Galveston, Texas.
Okay.
There's a huge plaque commemorating what they called Emancipation Day. So that's what it says on this plaque. This plaque is like a giant paragraph, but it is a representation of Juneteenth in Texas when the Union Army showed up and basically told the last remnant of slaves that they were freed.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's not like, for those of you millennials, there was no internet back then.
I wonder if they named it that just because it rhymed and they knew black folks we got some skills on
I
the
think
mic.
I think it was purposely because of the whole, at least the way it was explained to me, because of the whole thing of news didn't travel quickly, obviously, and we weren't sure what day exactly it got to the very last folks,
So
so
it's like June-ish.
Yeah.
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
It's talking about the middle of June-ish, and then even the celebrations to this day, some of them will be truly on the 19th. Some of them will be like the weekend before.
Yeah.
It kind of fluctuates.
Yeah, I know the
This
city of
one
East
states,
Palo Alto had
this
a party
one states
this
the
weekend.
19th as a day when the general and his subordinates showed up.
Okay.
So that's the day when he read the letter, according to this plaque. We can actually share this plaque, I guess, on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Good shit. Yeah.
Well, since we're on this topic, I don't know if y'all been paying attention to the whole Democratic Party, the
Nope.
I think I know
no.
what you're talking about.
What's all that? What are you talking about, Willis?
Wait, you got me finish first. Well, they've been having a lot of candidates with various different issues they're bringing up and various different things they want to solve, and a few. I don't know. I don't want to say a lot. A few of them are bringing up reparations for African Americans.
Okay.
And I want to get you guys' thoughts on reparations because I have my own and I think I have a better solution than most people do. Maybe.
Well, let's hear it. Let's hear what you got to say.
So first of all, I'm kind of both minds. Like I understand that, back in the day, even closer than people think. I mean, obviously we were slaves a long time ago. I was never a slave, but my ancestors were. But we went through slavery. Then we went through some serious hard times with the civil rights movement and not really having our total rights, and we're still getting kind of fucked over to this day, depending on where you live, especially depending on where you live. And so there's been a lot of politicians that are running for president now that are talking about giving reparations back to African Americans. I kind of disagree on that in a general manner. I think if you're going to talk about reparations, it should not be the government paying us individually money. Because I don't think that giving people money fixes anything. We've seen this historically. If you give somebody money, they still have the same problems. They still have the same issues they had before. They just happen to have more funds. They're still not... The main problems with most disenfranchised and people that live under the poverty line is not just a lack of money.
Yeah.
It's a lack of education. And so I think that, which I haven't heard yet from any fucking political candidate, is instead of taking this money and say, hey, we're just going to give African Americans X amount of things, I think they should take that money and invest it in impoverished parts of the country, especially in education. So where we need the most amount of help with anybody that's poor, and I don't think it should just be just ethnic groups, it should be just where people are fucking poor, is to help them out with education so they can learn how to make money for themselves. And I think that'd be a much better way to spend any sort of reparation type of money, because the problem is not to this day that our ancestors went through slavery. The problem is that a good portion of us still live in poverty, and the fact that we still, in those impoverished parts of town, they have very poor educational systems and very poor systems just explaining anything to anybody. Like we have poor education, we have poor, there's no fucking supermarkets in some places. They have food deserts. Having actual supermarkets in those places would help. Just uplifting those poor neighborhoods by using the same means that they do with rich neighborhoods, I think would be much better spent than just giving money to people.
Yeah.
Not to. Oh, good. You want to go?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because the Oathbreaker had talked about this on a professor's friend of mine actually, and someone brought up that reparations does not necessarily have to mean monetary gain or monetary grant. It could mean various different things. I suppose from what this gentleman was talking about, who responded to the Oathbreaker, was about how certain people were given things that were like free education, or if you look at historically, we were promised, or I don't know if we were promised because it wasn't in writing, but the whole 40 acres and a mule, where no one was willing to give that much land away to any kind of person of color. So Trevor Noah brought up how there's people who, I guess, settled the West and the Midwest. They were given land. Based on that land, they are able to borrow off of the price of the land and able to build credit, build homes, start business, whatnot. And people of color did not have that. So I know I've heard this in the discussion that perhaps something on that level, I don't know if it's either land or maybe some other kind of I guess not a corner of the U.S., but a haven or something like that. Something like that.
Like a reservation?
No, that doesn't work either.
Yeah, I know, because talk to a native person. But still, monetary gains is not necessarily the only reparations that could be out there. I think free education should be on the table. I know that's going to piss off a lot of people, but I think that's a starting point, at least a talking point. I think monetary grants should be off the table. I think just handing out money is a very, very bad idea. I think that there should be talked about, but I don't think it should be settled on material things. Go ahead.
So Congress obviously can discuss anything. They discuss things all the time. I'll say this. My mother and my entire mother's generation drank out of separate water fountains, wasn't able to do plenty of things under the Jim Crow laws in the South that restricted all types of freedom. She's obviously still alive to this day. And much like internment camps in World War II times for the Japanese, there were systematic things done to people who are still alive today that are black that never get discussed. I'm shifting the conversation a little bit from slavery in the old days that ended in 1865 to
62.
62, 65, depending on where you were, to, again,
Like 50 years ago.
50 years ago, things that occurred that you have a generation of people still alive that should be entitled to directly receive some form of compensation for those injustices. I'll also say this too. I'm reading an excellent book about it's called The Color of Law, which talks about by Richard Rothstein, I think. Anyway, all about nonfiction, all about the way that the government in several states, several cities, throughout all of the 20th century, systematically made laws to help create black communities and really impoverished black communities.
like redlining
all
and
the way,
shit like that,
all
yeah.
the way into the 70s and even early 80s, depending on where you were. And if you were a real estate agent, you could not sell to a black family. EPA was created. It blew.
San Francisco was like that.
San Francisco, Hunters Point, being in places that were close to toxic Superfund sites. There's a whole history of that too that everybody wants to ignore. With again, people who are alive right now that experience that government-sponsored discrimination and flat-out racism. We can have a discussion if you want to about reparations and whatnot, but there are people alive right now that experience direct government-sponsored racism, and for whatever reason, we're not talking about that while these people are alive. I find that weird and disgusting.
Yeah, that's a good thing to bring up. I think for people like, our generation, I think we're generally speaking, we're kind of okay, right? But for people that directly, there's obviously in some neighborhoods and shit like that, it's still pretty fucked. And we need to. That's another discussion as well. But I think that people that lived through the civil rights movement that are alive today, that I think something should be done. But at the same time, it's like, do you just throw money at them? You know what I mean? Is that the solution? Because that's what they're all talking about. And I think that for people just saying that, oh, we'll just throw money at them, I don't think that's. I think that's kind of flippant.
Well, did you have a concern? Did you have a concern with any type? And not that it was enough or whatever, but 1940s, other terrible situation in this country with Japanese Americans being in encampment,
right? So
and getting compensation.
Yeah. So I understand that situation was, unfortunately, was different. It's kind of fucked up because there were citizens that had full rights already. They got thrown into camps, and for us, it was. Not only was it earlier in time, but it was just like we never had rights to begin with. And you're right, the people that happened for the internment camps, do they even call them internment camps?
I mean, they are. No, they're internment camps.
Right?
Yeah, they're internment camps.
I'm not gonna call them fucking concentration camps like some people did, which is kind of fucking weird. But
there's other stuff with that, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think that the fact that they got pulled out of homes that they owned at the time, that's different.
Lost all their businesses.
Yeah. When we came here, we had nothing to begin with. So I think that there's a difference there. They're both fucked up situations. I understand that, but there's a difference between being taken from your country and having nothing, and to building your own life here and then having all that shit taken away for no reason. So
well, again, I still go back to people being alive and experiencing the sponsored by the state saying, "Hey, you can't go to this school. You can't drink in this fountain. You can't have this job. You can't, Yeah. That's what our parents experienced, and nobody seems to want to have the discussion of, is there any compensation or anything for people who are alive today that experience that right now?
Ta-Nehisi Coates actually had a really good, if you go on like C-SPAN and shit like that, he had a really good speech that he had, I think it was today.
Yeah, the campaign of fear is what he called it?
Yeah, it was really good speech. There's nothing that anybody can say that could possibly argue with what he said. About basically the same thing you were saying. People are alive today that went through all that stuff, and yeah, it's pretty fucked. But I think if someone, I seriously doubt, first of all, they're actually the government's gonna approve reparations.
They're not.
But if they did, like, if they gave me money, I wouldn't even accept. I'll just give it to somebody that fucking needed it.
Yeah,
I would give it to the poorest school district nearest to me.
There you
I would
go.
just fucking donate the whole entire thing. Because to me, like, don't get me wrong, racism still exists, but it's affected my life in such a minute fucking way that it doesn't even fucking matter.
Well, I think it also, some of it depends on where you are.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and what how old are you? Where did you
Yeah,
grow up?
yeah.
I didn't have dogs. Attack dogs on me and separate water fountains and no place to sleep or drink if I was on the road. And
Like, I think the worst thing I've ever experienced is like being called the N-word or having somebody follow me around the store. Like, that's as far as racism I've seen in my lifetime. I mean, there's been some other fucked up shit, but like those are the common ones that happen.
I got held back in a grade. I'm pretty sure because of racism.
Yeah.
So
there are terrible things that happen, and I just don't. You know what? I'm sorry, Blue. You get in here.
Well, so
talk
with
about
the whole paying black folks back and stuff like that, I'm gonna piggyback on what Krona said. Like, definitely spend that money on education. Like, help these people get out of poverty. Let them know how to manage money, budget money. How to get into the stock market. How to like balance like your checkbook and credit cards and all the different things. Like, I think that knowledge is more powerful than just handing people money. Because every time I think about like black folks getting money for because of slavery, I always think of that episode of the David Chappelle show.
Yeah.
When all the black people got money and like FUBU and Kentucky Fried Chicken stocks went up and the government the I guess the interest rates or something went up because people were paying back their back taxes or something like that. Like, I just think of that and I feel like it's a little bit on the comedy side, but I feel like people would just spend that money on like dumb shit, like buying fucking a big ass car with some like 48-inch rims or some shit like that. But yeah, definitely having a way for people to educate themselves. And the other problem is that even though they do have the ability to educate themselves, you have to get the people to want it, because you can give help to anybody and they can just overlook it and not even care about it. You got to make sure that they participate and they want to be helped.
Yeah,
That's
and the
true.
government makes somebody want something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean,
Unless they made it like, if you completed college or something like that, like you have free education, and once you complete it, we'll do something for you or something
hey,
like that.
if you can go to college for free, if you're a person of color, I'd be okay with that.
This been bothering me for like actually years now. People talk about free shit, like free college and shit like that. College is free. There's no such thing as fucking free college.
Of course.
All right, so people want to say, oh, we'll just get free college. No, you're fucking paying for it.
Yeah.
The taxpayers, but the government does not create fucking money.
That's
all
true.
right? The government takes our money and puts it into someplace. All right, so for somebody to say that, oh, we'll just get free college, it just means that we're paying for that college. You're still fucking paying for it.
Yes.
So I think that's a huge misunderstanding that most people have about the government. For any fucking government program, is that you still fucking pay for it. It's just the amount of how do you pay for it? Do you see it pulled out of your paycheck directly, or do you see it pulled out of your paycheck, in some fucking weird ass manner where they can spend any amount of money on whatever the fuck they want to, like the DoD, which has almost $1 trillion budget right now, which I totally agree with shit like that. I would hope that education costs less, but I would also hope that in the future, America stops putting a focus on fucking college and like telling people to just keep going to college when the cost of college is fucking insane.
Yeah.
And the amount of money you're going to get paid after you go to college is not that much money. So there's a huge amount of risk there they don't talk about, and you have to pay back all that money. So I don't know why people want to go for free college when, first of all, you might not even need to go to college, and then second of all, you saying free, you're still going to fucking pay for it.
It'd be cool to see like trade schools, like
That's where we need
Yeah.
people in more trade schools.
Yeah, I'll say this though with the free stuff. the phrase free college seems to be this trigger for people and pisses people off, but I don't hear that same energy, that same frustration at all when we're talking about farm subsidies, which have been going on for 50, 60 years,
They're
which
fucking
are
bullshit.
free money for you being a farmer. Like for your profession, you're getting paid to grow excess crops.
No, it's actually worse than that. So when you're a farmer and you get subsidies, the main subsidy is the corn subsidy, and
what I'm
that
saying.
directly contributes to the people being fat in America.
Yeah,
And
corn,
you
soy.
can basically,
yeah.
you can lose an entire fucking crop, and the government,
matter.
the government, as in us, the taxpayer, will pay them for that entire fucking crop they got lost.
It's welfare for farmers. I know it's never stated like that, but it is exactly that. It is welfare for farmers. We don't like to say it that way,
No one likes to say welfare, but
but it is.
if
That's
reparations,
Section 8.
I mean,
yeah, if reparations
based
did
on your
co-
occupation, here is some welfare.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is, and it's really for no reason. I think that it's one of the first things when somebody asks me, like, what would you do to keep America healthy? I would say the first thing I would do is get rid of farm subsidies, especially for corn, because it would make the cost of a fucking can of soda like $5, which is what it should be. You know what I mean?
So yeah, we've gone all over the place. So, I'm sorry. Did you have?
No.
Actually, I was gonna kind of talk about farming. There's this YouTube channel called Smarter Every Day.
I thought
and-
you were about to go farmersdaughters.com.
No,
or
not that
some
one.
shit.
But no, this YouTube channel, the guy like explains stuff, and recently he did an episode where he went to a farm and he showed like the silos where they keep all the grains and stuff in there. Like he shows how that work and how they built that from the ground up, and it's weird because they build it from the bottom. So like they'll build like the roof, and they have like these hydraulic system that lifts it up, and then they put like a ring around it. The hydraulic system comes down, grabs the next level, pushes back up, and it just builds it from the bottom or from the top up, which is fucking weird. But then like how it like rotates and gets the grain out. There's like a machine in there. It's a really cool watch, but the thing that holds the grain isn't called a silo. It's called something else. I can't think of what it's called.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But it's a pretty cool YouTube channel. Since we were talking about farming, it made me think of that.
a little tangent.
Good shit.
Did anyone else see Dark Phoenix besides Stitch?
I did not. I avoided that shit, even though I love the X-Men. Did you see it?
Yeah.
I saw it before Stitch.
Okay, tell
You
tell
seen it?
tell us a little bit about this.
How much
Stitch
of your
gave a
money you
review
wish you
that
got
he-
back?
And he hated it.
All of it?
They should have paid you for it.
Well, how bad you hate it?
I mean, I don't hate it, but it's just not a good flick. I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but like most of the stuff that Stitch talks about rings true. Even though he talked about there's a train sequence, that's like one of the best sequences in the film, but it still had issues in that sequence, even though it's the best sequence of the film.
In
It
terms
was
of
like,
continuity?
what the fuck? To give it an example, there's a elite squad of like there's a SWAT team, but they're anti-mutant. They're called the MCU. The mutant controlled
Really?
units.
The MCU?
Yeah, they're called the MCU.
They came in and killed the whole series.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Goddamn.
So they have fucking guns and shit, right? They're fighting the enemy, which are fucking aliens. They shoot them up. They don't die because they regenerate. And then you have the X-Men fight them, right? There's this dude.
Wait, for a second, I thought you were talking about Men in Black.
No.
For a second there, I
No,
felt
no.
like, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So they shoot them up, and then like they get wiped out, and then they fight the X-Men. There's this dude who literally whips his hair back and forth with fucking knives on his fucking tendrils or his fucking dreads, and
The fuck?
they're fucking cutting them up. Like these knives on his fucking braids are doing more damage than fucking bullets. I'm like, really? Is this what I'm seeing right now? Like, it looks cool, but I'm like, there's no way these knives, unless they're some kind of adamantium or they're poisonous or something, is doing more damage than a fucking bullet. And I'm just like, okay, sure. I'm just going to go with it because the flow is cool, but this is kind of dumb. And then there's another mutant. She has fucking a dagger. And she's fucking stabbing these fuckers. And apparently it's doing more damage than a fucking bullet. And I'm like,
Damn.
are you fucking serious right now? But, I mean, the sequence is cool, but there's still continuity in it that's fucking weird. Speaking of which, they fucked up the whole timeline again by killing off people and doing other dumb shit. Sophie Turner, she does a very powerful performance, but it can't save the movie.
Who did she play?
She's Jean Grey.
Really? You didn't know?
I don't know fucking names.
Okay.
You know
He didn't watch Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, for sure. It's just messy. Like Quicksilver, he's in it for 3 minutes. This is the best 3 minutes you can see in the film. It's just, I was bored at one point. It was just like, this is fucking waste of time. I mean, it looks
Is it
cool.
the worst one to you?
Well, there were 4 of them, right?
No, it's like 7.
There's a
No,
few.
7 or 8.
But not include the first 3.
I don't.
I'm talking about for all X-Men movies. Movies that say X-Men in it.
Okay.
Is this the worst one?
I think Apocalypse might be the worst.
Ooh, wow.
This
Yeah.
is not that much higher.
Down there with Apocalypse.
Yeah, down there with Apocalypse and X-Men: The Last Stand, which is funny because the guy who wrote X-Men: The Last Stand wrote and directed Dark Phoenix.
What the fuck?
So if you
should've been
see this
fired.
film, there's literally a sequence that's recreated in this film. Just like, even though the end has like that Dark Knight sequence, there's a sequence from this that mimics The Last Stand. I'm like, we've seen this before. It's just different actors doing the same shit. It's like, it's fucking.
I heard
Do
about
you
that.
remember how like positive everybody was for the most part, hardcore X-Men fans after X-Men 1 and 2 before Last
Oh
Stand?
yeah.
Like the franchise, there was some buzz. Like okay,
because
you know, maybe
X2
they'll get it
X2 was a
going.
good film.
Yeah.
But when you see The Last Stand, you're like, what happened?
But wasn't the
First Class was pretty.
Yeah, First
decent.
Class.
Yeah.
was
But
pretty
that's
decent.
like a reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They rebooted, but yeah, that helped. It helped
Then-
bring it.
I mean,
Some-
they got sequels because of it.
Yep.
But
the fuck that what's the name chick though.
this is not the way you want your franchise to end. This movie desperately needed Wolverine.
No, it's okay because we all know that MCU they're gonna be pulled into the fold, so
Yeah.
they're gonna
It's-
get rebooted anyway. Like we all pretty much knew this, so let them
Yeah.
go with the fizzle. It's fine.
Uh,
You can't say that. Listen, Spider-Man 3 was a fucking bullshit movie, and what happened later? They kept making better movies until,
Well,
But
Amazing Spider-Man 2 was rough.
Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
still like that was a definite low point for
It was
that whole
entertaining.
franchise.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3 was
know
a
what I mean?
well, but not financially. Spider-Man 3 made more money
yeah.
Oh yeah, but
than the other two, but I hear you.
well, the weird thing about like
Low quality.
when some movies do like when they're shit,
Yeah.
people still watch it, but then afterwards the next one will not do as well.
Absolutely.
That's historically that's how it works.
They didn't give Sam Raimi a 4th.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
They know
they
that.
kicked him to the curb, which sucks because I like Raimi. But yeah, Stitch gave it a 4.
we had on a podcast, right?
No,
We had his
his
brother.
Oh,
from Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Okay.
Yeah, so Stitch gave it a 4. I'm giving this a 5.
Okay. That's pretty
Like,
consistent then.
Yeah, I gave it a 5 because Sophie Turner, the effects, and James McAvoy does a great job as well.
He's
I was
always solid.
disappointed by Fassbender. They gave him nothing to do, and they switched his motivations. It's fucking dumb. I'm like, really? Like that? Like a light switch? I'm like, no. I needed to see more from him, and I feel like they cheapened him.
I really like Fassbender, but it's
I mean,
been
when
a
he-
while since I've seen him in anything really good.
Yeah, that's the thing. The previous incarnations of this character that he's done, I liked. This one, I felt like they cut out a lot of what he originally did, because I feel like there's pieces of his performance that's missing, and it makes it look cheap.
God damn.
So I was just like,
It's too bad.
yeah,
Who saw this MIB?
I did. MIB is a better
International.
film than Dark Phoenix.
Ugh.
Even though it took a shit at the box office, I was more entertained by MIB International than Dark
You
Phoenix.
saw it too, Blue?
No, I didn't see
Okay.
it. I forgot the movie came out.
Damn.
To be honest, like it
God
wasn't until
damn.
like I was watching news. They were like box office weekend. Men in Black didn't do too well. I was like, wait, shit, it came out already.
You and a lot of people, I guess. So, I mean, we brought it up. What
Yeah.
did you think of this one?
I thought it was fun. It stumbles in the beginning, but Tessa Thompson plays a hot, nerdy, super scientist chick, which is cool because she's kind of awkward, but she's really smart.
There's no relation to Jay Will Smith, right? Agent Jay.
No, there's no
Like, not a
relation.
distant cousin or anything
No,
like that.
none of that
That's-
shit.
that's
No, because
good.
it starts with her as a kid,
Okay.
and
Did her
there's
parents get eye zapped by
they
Jay?
do.
And
No, they get zapped by agents, but not by Jay and
God damn.
no.
They ain't got Will
J&K.
Smith money.
Yeah, they, don't have
Yeah.
that. They can't even allude to him.
They do allude to him.
Oh, they do? Okay.
There's a mural of him in Tommy Lee Jones
Gotcha.
in one of the spots, but they got Liam Neeson. Maybe that's why he didn't do so well. Everyone's all like, "Fuck that
He
dude."
doesn't like black people.
Yeah, like, fuck this dude. Fuck your reparations.
First thing he asked Tessa Thompson, "Did you rape my was it sister or some shit?"
Oh yeah, his
Friend, I
sister.
think.
Yeah,
It wasn't
friend.
I
even
think
a
it was his
relative.
sister. It was a relative,
Oh,
probably his cousin. You raped my cousin. I have particular skills. But
Yeah,
yeah,
skills is racism.
oh god dang. Yeah, it's a little weird in the beginning, but it has that MIB swag when they link up. So I mean, it's fun. I enjoyed it. It's not the greatest MIB. I think this is better than Part 3 for sure.
Everybody hated that one.
Yeah, but
That's a time traveling one, right? Where he goes back in time and meets
It's
his
the one
dad.
with yeah,
Yeah.
because
Sorry,
the second
spoiler.
one was the one with the
Oh,
girl
wait,
with the
no.
Laura
yeah,
Finn.
Laura
whatever.
Finn Boyle.
Yeah,
That
the
had
tentacles.
that has Rosario Dawson.
Oh yeah,
So
forgot about
actually,
that.
yeah. So this one, I misspoke. Not this is better than 2. I think this and Part 3 are on the same par. I enjoyed them, but they're not stellar. So
Gotcha. And wasn't it from? Isn't MIB from a comic book?
yes,
But it's not Marvel. It's not DC.
Like
uh,
IDW, I think.
it is.
Okay.
It's either them or Dark Horse. This Dark Horse.
We can look it up. We can look it up.
Yeah, it's not one of the major ones, but I mean, back in the day, MIB took off. Like there was a cartoon, there was games.
Yeah.
Music videos.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah,
It was huge. But I will say this.
And Ray Light,
I think
Ray
now we
Bans.
can definitively say that some of like Will Smith's like
Oh, shit.
Mojo?
you know Mojo was what made it big. Who's the
Swag.
Boy,
publisher?
were we all wrong.
Which one was it?
Nope.
It was by Arcel Comics
I
Oh
have
shit.
never heard of that
and
in my life.
Malibu Comics.
Oh,
Okay.
Malibu, yeah. Better Malibu. There you go.
Good shit.
That don't even
Yeah.
look like Man in
that's,
Black. They look like
and it
some
was, wow, there was
vampire
only,
shit.
Hold on, so this is fucking crazy. There's only 6 issues, and it was back in like the early 90s, like 1990 through 1991.
There you go.
Okay, but then the
Holy
first movie
shit.
was what 97, 96?
Something like.
So that was only a few years.
97.
Yeah, so that's a few years later for a movie.
But it's pretty fucking weird for something that, like, first of all, an obscure publisher
Yep.
have 6 issues, and then they make, what, 4 movies now?
Yeah, that's impressive.
But then again, I mean, Jessica Jones, they only had, that was a really obscure comic too,
True.
from the Marvel Max days, which was not a great not a great era for Marvel.
Yep.
And they made 3 seasons now out of that shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, also with Cloak and Dagger, I mean, yes, I know they're part of the main Marvel universe or whatnot, but they had a few series, but they're not like A-listers.
No,
But
no,
the
no,
show is still fucking good.
nothing like. But back to MIB though. So they're in London. You
It
like
starts in
Thor?
the-
You like
it's-
Thor in this or what?
Thor, it's like so the issue I have is there's a plot twist to it, but it involves Chris Hemsworth, but the payoff is not worth it. They allude to something grand, and when you find out what it is, it's like, oh, that's it. It's like, I guess, like, and it's a huge like B story throughout the entire like film, and when you get to the resolution, it's not a big payoff.
Do the aliens look at least cool? Like the first one for its time had some really fun looking aliens and cool graphics and shit.
I mean, they're kind of So it feels
that's too bad.
it just doesn't feel like shit you haven't seen before. There's like a chick with 3 arms, which would be great for sex and shit, but there's one of the cool. They pick up a new sidekick. He's like an inch tall, and he talks a lot of shit. He
a
was
little guy
fucking
in armor.
yeah. He's fucking dope. He's
Samurai guy.
He's the pawn. They call him Pawnee, but he was great. He had the best lines of the film. He talked a lot of shit. It was great. The weapons were cool, but it's like it's just different. Like you don't see like really fucked up creepy aliens. They're mostly aliens that try to look like humans, and they're
From the first
like
one.
they're literally Jabberwockies.
Gotcha.
That's what they pretty much are.
You got
So-
a number on this one?
I give this a 7.
Wow. Okay, that's higher than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but this is better than Dark Phoenix for sure.
Good shit.
I gotta break up something real quick. So
ahead.
last week I was wearing this Batman shirt. I decided to wear it again just because I wanted to talk about it.
Did you
But-
watch that shit?
I did wash it. So what's cool about this Batman shirt is that it has this special coverage on there. So if you take a picture with a flash, the symbol glows.
Shut the fuck up. Really?
Yeah, it's pretty fucking dope. So I'll have you take a picture with the flash on. Hopefully it doesn't fuck up the camera equipment.
since we're live on
You want
YouTube.
people to listen to me taking a picture?
Oh yeah, man.
You can hear the click. What are you
Dude,
talking
all
about?
Ninja can do that.
Please,
shit.
what?
You can verify.
Well, you're directly
All right.
like in front. There you go.
Ready?
Click it, clack.
Oh, it
Boom.
does. It does do that shit. God damn it.
So it has like
Kinda
a, it has like a reflector thing on there, so when you look at the image, it, like the Batman symbol glows. So anybody who's like
That is
watching
fucking
live could probably see it. But yeah, I got this from Walmart for like $12, and it's pretty fucking dope.
So post that shit on our fucking page. Or
Yeah, I
whatever.
posted, and it's funny because I think it was like Budweiser or some beer company had a cup
Yeah.
that I think it was something in Vegas where if somebody tries to take a picture of you, it flashes back, so your image doesn't show up, so they have nothing to blackmail you with.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I think it was just some kind of gimmick thing, but it was pretty fucking funny
Some
still.
James Bond shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that should help y'all with y'all news or whatever.
What I felt like
Spring break?
a lot of cameras, like the flashes for cameras work that are wireless, they use the flash from the main camera. Once they censored that, then they go off too. So that's basically what the cup was doing too, is flashing back.
You are a photographer.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all see the Kathleen Kennedy news?
Is this even true?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find out. Is it real or not?
'Cause
I haven't seen it from Star Wars. But go ahead.
I haven't seen this in Star Wars.
There's a rumor
either.
then. We'll say it's a
So
rumor.
there's a rumor that Kathleen Kennedy, who's president of Lucasfilm, has been removed from the head. But I've seen this since Last Jedi, and people put this out there, and then literally Lucasfilm put out a statement like, "Oh, Kathleen Kennedy is still with," or like basically they're trolling the trolls, saying that she's still with them. She signed a deal through the 2020s, apparently.
Yeah, I thought that was last year she signed,
Yeah,
right?
so apparently she's, unless she steps down, which I haven't heard from either, so I have no idea. I have no idea if this true or just fucking crybaby fanboys that want her gone.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think Star or Lucas Films or Star Wars, somebody needs to make the definitive statement that the rumors truly aren't true, you know, and state that like immediately, because this is out there at some fairly reputable site. I think this was Comic Book Review News or Comic Book News or something like that was reporting it earlier.
Yeah.
Again, not that they are infallible and can't be wrong, but y'all gotta dispute this then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just a rumor now.
Yeah, I don't have enough. Let's see.
It's
Because
you're still seeing some of the rumor stuff, right?
Well,
it-
this is from the Hollywood Reporter, so that's more reputable than most of these sites.
Yep.
So
And is it saying it's confirmed? Because
I think this is a producer, not president of Lucasfilm, which is Star Wars
yeah.
overall.
Yeah, there's not enough. There's
Because if this was, we probably would have seen something from Disney proper and Lucasfilm, and like Entertainment Weekly, like everything else would have jumped all over this. Seeing this report, I immediately looked to see, and I didn't see like similar reports. So
yeah. I mean, I think I see things from comic book news, but to me they're not super reputable. And a whole bunch of other like non-reputable sites. I don't see anything from reputable sites.
and I
So-
checked the Star Wars site because if they replaced her, they probably would have named the replacement. Like, oh, this person replaces Kathleen Kennedy, but no announcement.
it
no
would
nothing.
be, to me, it would be a very odd time to do this, even if it were true, just because you just, wasn't it last week or the week before that, you just started, it came out with the Star Wars Galaxy World, right?
Galaxy's Edge, yeah.
Yeah, over in
we haven't talked about that
Disneyland,
yet.
not Disney World.
Yeah.
No,
No,
Disneyland.
both.
Disneyland and Disney World?
Well, the one in Disney World isn't open yet.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
so,
it's
so Disneyland, not Disney
Yeah.
World yet.
Yeah, Disneyland open, and they're booked until the end of July.
That was some big shit. And then
Yeah.
obviously you got episode 9 dropping in, 5 months.
Yep.
But
I also
we'll
think
see.
that like a lot of fans, so what did Kathleen Kennedy do? She was like she's the president, right?
She's the president.
Okay, so I think that a lot of fans gave her too much shit about the Star Wars movies. All right, so the president does not mean that she's the director.
True.
Doesn't mean that she's a writer. Doesn't mean she's a fucking actor. All right, she's just the president. That's just like, okay, we're gonna make some money. Let's fucking do this shit. I think a lot of people they complained about her as if she had her hands in making these movies. No, like no president has their hands in like really making shit. You know what I mean? Like they rely on other people for that.
Yeah, I don't think she had a direct hand, but I will say she's had a lot of quotes that I've seen about her talking about her vision for this trilogy and these movies, which, for better or worse, she's been very vocal about how she sees the themes for these movies and what she would like to have those themes be.
I mean, and that's fine and all, but I don't think that she has as much, I guess, say in like the script, like the direct scripts, as like most people would.
No, that's the right.
No, but she's there for like brainstorming and ideas.
No, no.
She's there because she was Lucas's right-hand man, quote unquote.
But Lucas hasn't been involved.
Lucas is
Well,
not
when they sold to Disney, he was the one who named her president because he was by her side. When you watch the video, it's her that he's explaining his sale to Disney.
But since Force Awakens, Lucas hasn't.
Yeah,
been
that's why I'm
the guy here, though.
He's not. He's like a consultant. However, she's been, like you said, vocal, and she's been part of the creative process as far as yes or no, not like.
She seems like she's kind of a scapegoat boogeyman or boogie woman, whatever you want to call
Possibly.
her.
Yeah, I think that people, they kind of should, because there's assholes out there, right? Because
Oh yeah.
obviously, you know,
In Star Wars?
just like Star Wars fans, just fans in general, like they just want to point at somebody. And there's a lot of, some of them were obviously fucking sexist. And they were just saying that, oh, she did all this, blah 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 blah. But it's like, listen, she's the president of that company. You know, it's like blaming the president of Fox for a joke that Family Guy did. Like it's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
I mean-
it's far below what their normal
Yeah.
tasks and responsibilities are.
So I would compare her to Kevin Feige, because Feige is president of Marvel.
Okay.
She's president of Lucasfilm. He's very vocal, and he's always talking about next phases, what the plan for the future is, giving hints. She does that as well.
Okay.
And she's usually there at panels. She goes to Celebration 5. She goes to like stuff like that.
But at the same time, The Force Awakens, $2 billion movie. The Rogue One $1 billion movie.
Last
Jedi, $1.6 billion movie. The only one that didn't do well, flopped, was Solo. But everything else, well over $1 billion.
So
That's a
far.
pretty good track record,
Not a failure.
if we're being honest.
And if you remove the Star Wars name from Solo, it didn't do that bad.
You're absolutely right.
When
But
compared
remember
to
the reshoots, and the budget was huge too.
Oh,
Yeah,
directors leaving and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, they barely
Like-
made their money back.
yeah, but like
and
with
for a Star Wars film, that had never happened before. We thought it was pretty much a guarantee. You put the Star Wars label on something that's going to be in the theaters, it's going to be a mega hit.
yeah, but I mean, given that, I mean, if you take away, like you said, if this was like John Carter or something weird, some random space movie, that would have been like good money.
Oh, absolutely.
But compared to the other Star
wouldn't have
Wars
the budget,
films, this is
Yeah,
like
it wouldn't have the budget.
this is like the kid that like fell down the fucking stairs and shit, and you gotta like roll him around now.
To be totally fair, and I know I'm playing both sides here, but I will say that I personally disliked the frequency of the movies. Like every
Other year,
every
year.
Christmas,
Yeah.
like clockwork, a movie coming out, it seems like too tight of a schedule. I know it works for Marvel, but I thought it was too tight of a schedule for Star Wars.
I thought-
But that's just a personal preference, and who knows if someone else was in there, maybe they would have done the same goddamn thing.
Well, I mean, to be fair though, they were alternating
Stories.
directors, and stuff like that. So they went back and forth between like the current Star Wars and past stuff.
Yep.
Which is kind of okay, but obviously, I think if Solo would have done well, you wouldn't have those complaints, and most people wouldn't have those complaints of the every year thing.
I had problems even with starting with like
Rogue One.
no Rogue One I was okay with, but after Rogue One I was just like, man, every December then, okay, but
Yeah.
and then there wasn't even a year gap between Last Jedi and Solo. That was like a 4-month, 5-month.
Well, it's
Yeah.
totally different actors, directors,
Yeah.
producers. It's just they were different movies. So, I mean, I get it. I understand what you're saying, man.
I like, but again, for Feige, whatever, that formula works. They 2 or 3 every year.
Yeah,
For Marvel.
I think it's because Disney got greedy.
Well, no,
and they're like, Marvel's a machine that they cranked out. They tried to get Star Wars on that same hype train, and it just wasn't really
I
working
mean,
out.
it can be done, but with Kevin Feige, when with his Marvel thing, it was totally different. There were totally different studios. There weren't different studios, but there were different directors and actors, so they can get away with it way easier. Then, but even with Star Wars, like I said before, it was still different directors and actors and storylines because they went from like basically the past to the future and all that shit.
Yeah.
And they could do it. They had one sort of flop. So
you're right. They're only one sort of flop, but I will also say, and this is nitpicky, I'm sure the studio wanted to have The Last Jedi, which was the next one after Force Awakens did $2 billion, do at least the exact same or a little bit better in terms of money. Like, it didn't go up, but we're talking about the difference of them both being over $1.5 billion.
No,
you know?
so we had this conversation I think before when we it was like a while back when The Last Jedi was first announced. You know, what were the expectations? My expectations were never anywhere near the Force Awakens from The Last Jedi.
Oh yeah.
The Last Jedi I didn't think was going to do as well at all because it wasn't running on the same steam that The Force Awakens had. Listen, The Force Awakens did really well because previous to The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi movie was a fucking long time ago.
Yeah, it was
And
Revenge
people
of the Sith.
Yeah, and people were hungry for a fucking Star Wars movie.
It was like a good 10 years between
yeah.
Revenge of the Sith and The Force Awakening.
People wanted to see what happened with their Star Wars heroes. They wanted to see.
Well, and it was new.
Yeah,
new
it's
cast.
extra new.
Yeah.
Yeah, new people.
Totally
There
get
was
that.
there's mystery, all kind of shit, and they
All
kept
true.
a tight lid on all that shit.
Ultra, and it did not work out in terms of being the same amount of numbers. I'm just saying from the studio's perspective, I know they would have preferred strongly to have.
Oh well, yeah.
yeah,
they would
but-
have loved for both of them to be $2 billion movies.
It also didn't help that the
Controversy and shit.
Yeah, it was controversial for some good reasons. I mean, listen, both The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, they were kind of retold stories, and I think people were kind of caught on to that really, rather quickly, and they weren't as compelling. You know what I mean? Because they were like recycled stories, especially The Last Jedi. And they kind of put in some humor. The very beginning of the Last Jedi was not a good start. I don't care what anybody says. It wasn't. You took a guy that's been gone for many years, and you made his whole like beginning scene a joke. Like for the first 15, 20 minutes, it's a joke on Luke Skywalker, and he's the baddest motherfucking Jedi to ever live. And he's a fucking joke. He's drinking fucking alien titty juice. He's making jokes.
Yeah,
Doesn't
green
even
milk.
want his fucking his
Lightsaber.
lightsaber and shit like that. That's pretty
powder.
off-putting.
Yeah.
You know?
Look, the thing I loved the most out of The Last Jedi was the whole Kylo and Rey stuff. A lot of the other stuff, especially on rewatch, I was like, man, this is rough.
The best scene of that in the entire movie is when they were fighting together, where you see a
Yeah, I
Sith
love
and a
that. That
Jedi
was a
fighting
classic
together.
scene.
That was a good scene.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Well, actually, my biggest gripe was Canto Bite. I felt like that was unnecessary.
The casino planet?
yeah.
Well, it was just like it was in a previous Star Wars movie, right? It was.
Did they have a casino scene?
It wasn't a casino scene, but it's basically a direct ripoff from another Star
Is
Wars
it,
movie.
is it with Jar Jar? Or no, when he
was
goes.
it Revenge of the Sith? When he went to the
can't remember.
opera?
Sorta, yeah, but it's just like it seemed like
It's like when they went to Cloud City.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like Cloud
That's been
City.
with my boy
Yeah.
Billy
Lando.
Yeah, because like
Uh,
it's kind of the same thing. They go to a city that's for gambling, and they get caught up with somebody who's gonna give them up to the Sith or to
no, Cloud City wasn't, and they don't
Pivotal
get sold.
moment in Empire.
Yeah, Cloud City was not a gambling city. It was a city. There's people. There's families. You can see like kids, and you see like the only kid in Star Wars
But wasn't
and
what's the
The
name
only
of
kid in Star
Smuggler?
Wars, really.
in the original
So
trilogy.
You can leave now.
The only kid in the original trilogy.
Well, I'm talking about all the movies.
Oh no, I'm talking about the original trilogy. But yeah, I mean, you didn't see nobody gambling. You knew that Lando was a gambler.
A hustler.
You don't see him gambling. To me, it was like they freed like the horses from their races and like.
But it's kind of a similar thing. They like
No,
the person gave the person
sorry,
up to
it
the
reminded me of the
enemy.
the fucking pod racing shit.
Oh,
okay, there you go.
It was
man.
it was basically the pod racing shit just retold.
Yeah.
Ugh, God, I'd wash that out of my mind, Kronos. God
Yeah.
damn it.
Why
Actually, the
do I
pod-
care about these stupid ass fucking horse things?
Yeah, I didn't get.
They're
I
all
felt
betting
like,
on them. There was some guy that was doing something. There was
And
a
they're all-
heist going on.
Yeah.
They need information.
See,
it was retold story.
The heist wasn't even that compelling. I was like, dude, this needed to be fleshed out more.
And then the kiss scene too is with the Asian girl and
Rose, I didn't
Yeah.
care about that. I knew a lot of people were fucking
he
pissed.
was
Oh my God.
not he did not consent to that kiss, boy. He was not conscious.
Yeah.
She took advantage of him.
But
man.
at
She's
the
a
end of the
great
day,
actress, though.
Warrior fella, what did you think about that kiss?
yeah,
Exactly.
while he's typing an answer, at the end of the day, for Kathleen Kennedy, it doesn't sound like it's been confirmed. Good luck to her.
Wait, so
you know.
did she do something wrong?
No,
Like,
she didn't. She didn't really. Besides, be the president during solo flopping. I can't think of anything wrong.
But she, I mean, she's
Hold on. Besides being the president of the most successful Star Wars period of all time,
Yeah,
people
billions
gotta
of
forget about
dollars.
that. Get the fuck out of your nonsense.
Billions. They've made billions. It's not like they're losing money.
No, they've all been successful besides solo.
They're
That's it.
about to drop a
That's
TV show this fall,
And,
so
and for all you bullshit Star Wars fans, I can make a better movie. No, you fucking couldn't.
No, you can't.
Because if you could, you'd be a fucking director right now. But guess what? You're not. You're in your fucking mom's basement, fat as fuck, with pimples on your face.
God
Shut the fuck
dang.
up.
And
I'm
a
just
neck
saying,
beard.
let them make the fucking movies. If you don't like it, that's fine, but don't blame it on the fucking president
Took
Yeah.
that did not write or direct the fucking movie.
right?
yeah.
She influenced.
Yeah,
she's
she's
Emperor
probably-
Palpatine of.
Yeah.
I'm hyped to see my boy Palpatine come back and be like, bitch.
So am I, man. That trailer for episode 9 still has me fucking hyped as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
I'm-
that ending.
I just want to be surprised, and the only two things I care about is being surprised, no rehashing. I mean, I'll be okay, but I won't be satisfied. And if Rey gets a different colored lightsaber eventually, like blue and red, I get it, it's iconic. But if she picks her own, maybe
There's been a
towards
lot of
the end,
green in Star Wars. Dude.
There's
Don't
been
forget
green,
that.
one purple, but if she pulls that yellow, that'd be
Shit.
dope.
That'd be interesting.
You know, my favorite scene of the entire Star Wars franchise is from Force Awakening, where they jump into the Millennium Falcon and Rey drives it.
Oh yeah,
And
that was a
she's
good
like flying
sequence.
between the ships and like dive bombing and shit like that. I was like, the person in front of me was like, what the fuck was that?
You nutted on their
Yeah.
back.
Right on their back.
It's a good scene because she's fucking crashing into shit.
Yeah,
as
and
she's
she's,
flying.
it's like her first time fucking flying it.
pilot-
And she calls it a hunk of junk. Like,
Yeah.
nobody want to drive that bucket.
Well, that's one of the things I always hated about The Last Jedi is because pilots are important in Star Wars. They always fucking have been. And
Yeah.
Purple hair, like, demeaning the best pilot. You told me Poe is the best pilot. Now you want me not to care about him. Fuck you.
And ships just decided to go in one direction. And motherfuckers didn't split apart.
All right, should we move on?
Yeah, is Jessica Jones out or no?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it's
is out.
I watched
Okay,
the
tell
first
us about
two.
it.
Dropped
out
on
on
Friday.
Friday,
Who's seen
Thursday
it? Yeah, it came out Friday.
I saw
I'm
the
about-
first two.
Yeah, about 5 episodes in.
Damn.
Yeah.
down.
Well, I like Jessica Jones. I like the actress Christina Ritter,
Kristen Ritter.
something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think she's fucking sexy as hell. Even
She
though
is, and I don't understand
she's
why.
fuck. Yeah, I don't understand why.
Why are you
she
so
ain't got
hot?
she ain't got nothing. She ain't got no ass. She got
Why do I have a boner right now?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But no, so far this season's been pretty good. It's not as good as the first season because the Purple Man had some charisma, but the villain in this one, he's kind of an asshole, but you know he's like I'm not trying to spoil or
Does
anything,
he have
but
valid points?
not really. So
Oh.
They're still in New York. And
yeah, they're still in New York. She still have her thing, but yeah, we get to see her struggle because you know we see somebody who's vulnerable, like kind of fall from grace, and that's just kind of how it is for Jessica. Like she's a person with powers who don't want to have powers, but she still uses the powers to save people, but she doesn't do it very well. And that's that's constant with this season so far. She like tries to help people and just never worked out her way.
I think that's constant with all of his seasons.
Yeah.
Really.
It's also weird seeing the Red Ranger as an adult.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Oh, from Power Rangers.
yeah,
Okay.
the knockoff weekend guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The weekend.
Cut his hair, now he's wearing suits and shit.
Yeah,
He's got
well,
his
and he's
Gucci on.
working for Hogar, who's still fucking thick.
Hogarth.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hogarth. Is she? Yeah,
Yeah,
She
but-
looks better now than
she
she did
does.
in the Matrix.
Because she put on weight.
Yeah, she got them hips and shit.
Yeah. Oh
Thickness.
my goodness.
Have you got to the part with the cello or not? What the hell is that? The giant
Bass
thing?
They call
Cello.
it bass or
cello, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got to the part where she meets up with that homegirl?
No, I'm only episode 2.
So there's kind of this red bone that shows up that Hogar used to date in the past, and if the one cool thing about Hogar, if she wants something, she's gonna fucking get it.
Oh.
And
She's
she's gonna. It doesn't matter how many people she fucking steps on. She will get
Damn.
what the fuck she wants.
Easy way or the hard way?
Yeah, basically.
Basically, yeah.
But like, this is sorry.
Easy way or the lesbian way.
Yeah,
Oh,
basically.
damn.
There are hard dildos.
There's literally
Come on.
there's a this isn't a big spoiler, but there's a part in the show with Hogarth where she's talking to the cello girl, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I remember when we were first getting together, and you sat on that chair, and you just had that fucking cello in between your naked pussy and stuff like that." I was like, "What?"
Shit.
And she's like, I remember when you played for me and stuff like that. So the girl started playing, and I was like, "Oh, they're about to fuck." Hogarth's about to get up in them panties.
Oh, let's get it.
Yeah, but the Red Bull girl, like she's kind of cute, but like an older lady cute. Like she's like a
Well, they're
late
both mature.
40,
Hogarth?
50, yeah.
Hogarth is older lady hot, so I mean she's
Yeah.
she's got to be in like her 50s by now, right?
Yeah.
Or close to.
But they're both
Late
mature. She's
40s.
not a
Yeah,
young
they're both.
woman.
Yeah, it's an older lady.
Okay.
What is her name? It's
Oh, Carrie Ann
Carrie-Anne
Moss.
Moss.
Yeah.
sorry, she's very relevant with the Matrix.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know what's interesting? I was watching a kind of a story, like a YouTube channel. They were talking about the Matrix, and apparently her character, what's her character's in Matrix? It's
Trinity.
Trinity.
Yeah.
Her character was designed after not Master Chief, the chick from Ghost in the Shell,
Oh, the Major.
Oh,
Major. Yeah, she's designed after her. Like if you compare them,
kinda see
like
it
even
in some ways.
even like to the leather suits that she wears, like they try to make her look very much like Major. And then once learning that information, I was like, I could see her being Major. Like they were
Yeah.
actually did
Back then.
Ghost in the Shell, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
I could
but
see her being
still.
Major.
That makes a lot of sense now that you said that because the Wachowski siblings are really into anime.
Well, yeah, they made a whole Matrix anime series.
Yeah, so.
But like other stuff I learned is like how influence of religion that the Matrix is. Because even like
Yeah.
Trinity itself, Trinity was like the
Holy Trinity.
yeah, the Holy Trinity, yeah.
and then
She's the one that brings Neo from basically death, with what the Holy
Neo's
Trinity does.
Man, I
Jesus.
tell you what though, ever since I read, God damn, I can't remember the name of the fucking book. Basically,
Necromancer?
Neuromancer.
No, yeah, Neuromancer.
So
there you go.
Neuromancer, the fucking book. God damn it! After I watched that, I'm like, this fucking Matrix is the goddamn ripoff of that fucking book.
I mean, but whoa, they do credit influence from that book.
okay,
so.
good, because it's like they literally call it the Matrix, and that's the movie, and I'm just like, what the fuck? But apparently, what was it? They're making a new movie. So Cyberpunk 2077, that is basically it's basically fucking Neuromancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like literally the whole fucking game.
Nice.
And the fact that Neo's in it, sorry,
Oh, yeah, Keanu.
Keanu Reeves is in it, makes me even more excited about it because it seems like they pulled everything from I forget the guy's name, but it's something Gibson.
Yeah, it's his last name is Gibson. But
Yeah.
I heard he's really good to work with. He's written TV. He's written for the X-Files.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Gibson, the author of
okay,
Neuromancer, because he wrote probably one of the definitely top 10 episodes of X-Files called Kill Switch. I'm pretty sure he was consultant for the Matrix.
William Gibson.
There you go. And then
Debbie Gibson.
oh damn. He's also worked with I think he had some like William Gibson. He might be.
Yes, he is.
There you
All
go.
right.
71. All right.
Yeah, he worked with Trent Reznor for a second.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that too. He's still writing books.
Yeah,
Holy
shit.
shit.
Take a hint, George R.R. Martin.
Yeah.
Oh, god
Well,
dang.
he's still trying. He's also trying to fit another couple of fucking Krispy Kreme donuts in his mouth. I'm just saying, finish your fucking books, man. Hop on a diet so you can live longer so you write more fucking books.
Well, you know, every Christmas season he's at the mall. You know.
Oh, kind of going back to Jessica Jones. I finished season 2 of Cloak and Dagger, and
yeah,
they
fuck
do
about
not
that.
shy away to their link to the Netflix series.
Oh,
There's
good.
this is a spoiler if you're not gonna watch.
Put it out there. Fuck him.
There's a scene towards the very end of the series where one of the black kids in the show is reading a newspaper and it has a picture of Luke Cage, and he's like, yeah, this is Luke Cage, like I heard he's bulletproof, and then like Cloak is like, yeah, you know, I heard he can't be stopped or whatnot. And he's all like, they make one other reference to like his character and then they like move on, but I was like, oh, I see they're not shying away about the Netflix shows.
That's
So
good.
hopefully someone shows up because their shows are gone. They ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah.
Might as well like show up on the show.
Well, you know what's interesting? Jessica Jones, at least as far as I've been, they haven't mentioned anything about people being dusted. So this must be before I guess, Infinity War.
You never know.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean you can't sweep that under the rug in terms
Yeah,
of the
well,
storyline.
it's definitely before because they don't show like people. Well, I guess they could, but like they don't talk about like people coming back or like dealing with the consequences of the snap and stuff like that. So.
But they aren't they on your Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
No,
that
Agents of
next
S.H.I.E.L.D.
season?
Agents of
don't
S.H.I.E.L.D.
know.
hasn't talked about the snap.
Yeah,
or
because they're in
anything.
space.
But they
right
have
now.
talked about other things.
Yo,
and,
yeah,
Yeah.
they
like,
brought
like
in.
movies,
I mean, one, they have Coulson. Two, they brought in other like characters like
Like
Lady
Lady
Sif.
Sif, yeah.
They brought in Nick Fury. They brought in like who the hell's? Maria Hill. She's been in the show.
Ain't
couple
gonna get
times.
no Robert Downey on that shit.
Oh no.
He's gonna be like, and Chris Evans. They're gonna be like, fuck
You know what?
I don't do TV.
Disney's got fucking money.
I bet you if we give Robert Downey Jr. just a little bit of cocaine.
Oh shit.
probably go- I'm just kidding.
Up.
God
I'm
damn.
that was a fucked up joke. I'm just saying.
He's been clean for a while now.
Guy's been sober for like 15 years. Fuck him. Here's the
But he
stuff.
would do it. He would do it.
Well,
Damn.
and Jessica Jones, because we know that what's the guy's name? The Black Power Ranger dude, The Weeknd.
The weekend.
Like how the way that
the
Purple-
weekday.
Yeah, the weekday. The way the Birdman kept him in control was by having him constantly do cocaine.
Oh, if the weekend cuts his hair, is he called the weekday?
Yeah.
Well, he did cut his hair.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he
Oh
did
yeah,
cut his
he's
hair.
bald. He's got a
Yeah.
fade.
It's got to be WEE.
The wee.
We.
The wee.
You gotta cut out the A from the day.
So he is the wee.
The weekday.
The week die. But yeah, Jessica Jones, they don't talk about the snap and like the Weeknd guy there. He has a moment of weakness with drugs, but he has this black chick that walks around in her panties. Oh god, but she doesn't. She doesn't have a like booty on her, but you see a booty butt cheek.
Do they allude to like the greater Netflix world in terms of Cage and?
They hint at it a little bit, but not really. Like she talks about how she's there's some guy dying when a building collapsed on him.
Wow, but no reference by name.
But no name reference.
Wow. All right.
But yeah, I don't know. It's still a fun show for Jessica Jones.
But you're also not done.
Yeah, I'm also not done.
You're
You're
on 5.
like,
Kronos, you're on 2. What your thoughts so far, man?
I'm liking it so far. I mean, I really enjoy Jessica Jones. It's one of my favorite ones of from Netflix, and actually pretty much of all time because it's showing I talked about it before on the podcast. I'll bring it up again. Is that it's showing a woman and that is somebody that they legit write her for you not to like her.
Yeah.
And I fucking love that because I think that too many times it stereotypes to like the woman in any kind of show. You have them with positive traits, but her negative traits are fucking awesome. She's an asshole, and she never strays away from being an asshole.
She's a
she's
mess.
always drunk.
She's hard to like.
She's
Yeah.
drunk almost all the time.
And she's a jerk to people, legitimately.
But that's what I like about her.
And she also likes to fuck. I mean,
She
no
does
matter,
like-
no
she
matter
does
where.
like- she
Nasty,
does
dirty
like dick.
bathrooms.
She does like dick.
I think that's why she's hot. Is because she's an
dirty.
asshole.
'Cause she's dirty or
Not-
she's an asshole.
Maybe this is how chicks feel. When they date assholes, you know what I mean? It's like that's her. It's like she's an asshole. Kind of want to fuck her.
there you go.
Oh, and then you hate Trish because she's the.
Oh
good,
yeah, you still
she's the
fucking
good-
hate her.
She's
That's
good
the radio
Well,
chick,
well,
right?
Yeah.
see, Trish is trying to be good.
Yeah,
Trying
that's-
to, but she's
that's
still
the
fucking.
problem.
She's still a piece of shit.
And that's why I love this show because of like
Yeah.
literally tossing all these stereotypes on their head. Like you don't like the person that tries to be good, and you like the person that's a fucking asshole 100% of the time.
Shit. Where are you on it, old ninja?
I haven't started. I was going to this weekend, but I was watching Cloak and Dagger, and then I've been on my blind spot kick because I didn't realize I missed 2 seasons.
Wow.
So,
damn.
God damn.
yeah, but it's a really good show. Nobody else watches it. It's on Hulu. It's 4 seasons deep.
Lady
but-
Sif is in there, right?
Yes, she's the main character.
She bad as fuck to me.
She's pretty bad,
Yeah.
and she's
Even though
tatted up.
You know she almost died, right?
Yeah,
She's
she-
almost died a few times,
Yeah.
which is fucked. I'm like, what are you doing?
She's too
like,
hot.
yeah. I'm like, dude, you have a stunt double, Jamie.
Oh, it was on the set that she almost fucking died?
Yeah, she's
God
she's
damn.
broken her back, I think, filming Thor, and then she fucked up her leg doing some fucking
She's
stunt.
trying to be Jackie Chan. Get off my
yeah,
girl.
she
But then again, I
fucked
mean,
up.
so did Trinity. She broke her leg in the fucking Matrix.
There
Yeah,
you go.
so
Motorcycle stunt.
but yeah, so there's something that's been on here, our docket for a minute, and we haven't heard from it yet. I gotta hear this from Blue. Aladdin.
Oh yeah.
Shit,
You didn't see it.
You saw it too, right?
Yes, I did, but
No,
I need to hear what you think.
Yeah, we touched on it a little bit, but I wanted to wait because I wanted to see it. But
I saw, I think, before you.
yeah, you saw it
so.
before me because I saw it like the after the cast. But
Whole new world.
yeah, actually, I actually enjoyed this movie. I went in there with kind of low expectation because I wasn't really liking like Will Smith being the genie, just with all the blue CGI. But the storyline was still pretty good. Like I still didn't like whenever Will Smith was at blue as a genie, you could tell it was CGI and it was like over fucking done. But when he's like himself, like it was cool. It was like okay, that's just Will
Wait,
Smith.
he's outside of being blue in the movie?
Yeah, he
Sometimes.
does it to blend in.
Oh.
Because you can't be a blue fucking guy walking around. But like taking parts from the Aladdin anime, because Aladdin's my favorite animated Disney movie of all time. But like they take certain parts from the movie and they kind of, they answer a few other questions.
Okay.
Like like there's a scene where Aladdin falls into the water and the genie saves him, but the Aladdin doesn't really make a wish.
Yeah.
But so they changed the rules where you have to have the lamp in your hand for the wish to be considered a wish or whatever.
Oh, well, they kind of do that in the cartoon a little bit.
Yeah, but he doesn't like it's
a
a bunch of questions they answered.
Yeah.
But like we get a little bit of a backstory with Jafar, where he comes from. They fill in the blanks with that because apparently Jafar was based a street rat too and came up from nothing to become a fucking sultan or what is he?
Yeah,
Vizier?
Vizier? Yeah, he's Vizier.
Yeah. But then like they changed the story where Jasmine's not the damsel in distress, but also she doesn't. She basically becomes the sultan at the end.
Was she in distress in the movie?
Not really, but like she was
like
a
a
girl.
princess.
She was a girl that's about to turn 16 and have to marry a man.
Oh, okay.
So they
took that out?
They kind of still have it in there, but
yeah, still.
it turns out she doesn't need to marry Aladdin to become like known. Like her voice is heard. Like she's not just a girl. Like hey, you're talking. Like shut up. We don't need to listen to you.
Gotcha.
She actually speaks up and like tries to save her people.
That's cool to make those changes. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say this though, like those movies that it's fine to adapt with the times, but some of those movies are still loved, especially when
Yeah,
I have a little girl and she's watching Ariel and Princess Jasmine, and the appeal is still there from those old movies.
Yeah, like when I went to movies like expecting to hate it, but actually, I mean, it didn't reach my expectations.
Yeah.
But it didn't like let me down. I still had a good time watching it.
How's the tiger look?
The tiger looks fucking real. It was a real fucking tiger. But the tiger doesn't do any tiger shit like he does in Aladdin. Like he's not ripping off any princess underwear.
He does.
Wait, actually,
he has one
There is
defining
one scene,
moment.
yeah.
One moment, but I mean, she does have her pet tiger. The difference is they kind of replaced the tiger with an assistant.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
Jasmine has
The
an
fuck?
assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jasmine has like a handmaiden.
Okay.
Yeah.
So comparison. There was Beauty and the Beast, Jungle Book, and I guess Dumbo, and this one. I don't know if you've seen them all, but is Aladdin the best one?
I haven't seen Dumbo, but I would say Maleficent is my favorite one.
What?
I
Is
like
Maleficent the Sleeping Beauty?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Live action?
It's a
like a
fucking
prequel.
prequel.
Yeah.
Sleeping Beauty. Okay.
I just like the way they did it, and like the whole Angelina Jolie and like her being actually a fucking fairy and this and that. I thought that was pretty cool how they did that.
Remember back in the 90s when Angelina Jolie was bad as... I mean, she's still pretty bad. But back in like the hacker days...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
God damn, when she showed her titty, her nipple like real quick on Hackers.
For
Yeah,
me,
she does.
there was that, and then her and Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yeah.
It was
with
Just
the
amazing.
dreadlocks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
None of you saw her Gia movie?
Oh,
Yeah,
you know
Gia.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She was naked the whole thing.
Hold on. This is the best though. Did you watch
Wanted.
Alyssa Milano when she was in that vampire movie?
Yes.
Oh,
of
yeah.
course.
God
Of course.
damn.
Yep.
When I was a kid, I jacked out of that shit so many fucking times. I'm just saying.
Jacked off to her on Who's the Boss. Don't matter.
God damn.
I
That's
jacked
okay,
off.
because we were the same age.
Yeah, exactly. She's like 3 years older or something.
Yeah.
Well, no, she was the I guess the model for Little Mermaid. Alyssa Milano was. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And I think Prince Eric was. Oh no, was it Prince Eric or Aladdin was off of Tom Cruise?
But now she's kind of crazy. So
Yeah.
whatever. But you know
She's
what-
not Rose
but you know
McGowan
what that
crazy.
means?
Yeah, sure.
Good pussy.
Crazy pussy is good pussy.
There we
Yeah.
go.
God dang.
Just saying.
So,
Well-
but Aladdin, I'm sorry, you said Aladdin not as good as Maleficent, but up there for you.
Yeah, so I will give Aladdin an 8. And plus, I like how I just like how they kind of told the story with a little bit of a twist. And like one of my favorite things, so I'm not sure if a lot of people heard this, but there's an Easter egg in it. So if you watch the Aladdin the animated movie and you watch the live action one, there's a scene where he's in the shopping area and there's somebody in the background. This is always my favorite line when a guy's like, or it's when Princess Jasmine is walking through the market and you hear people saying like, oh, sugar dates and pistachios. But there's another guy in the back. He's like, fresh fish, we catch it, you buy it. In the marketplace, you hear that in the background, but you don't like see the people. And I just thought that was a cute little nod to the animated movie.
There's like, I feel like there's a lot of those.
Well, then also,
the actress is bad.
oh yeah, she's
Naomi Scott.
Holy shit!
She
Do you
does a
get the
pretty good
sense
job.
of her fucking hotness in this, or is they tone it down?
Dude, she owns Jasmine. She kind of steals Aladdin's thunder a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, because she commands the screen when she's there. When she's Jasmine, they gave Jasmine more to do.
yeah, they totally did.
They gave her a voice. They try to quiet her, but
She's
she
bad,
won't.
man.
She won't go quietly.
Like the one scene where she's like wearing the dress and she's like walking down the stairs is like,
Oh, she wears a wedding dress. Yeah.
it was cool. But
Sometimes she can look a little youngish, but right there, I'm like, come on now.
God damn.
Come on now.
She's British.
Yeah.
It's
She has a mole.
Where?
They cover right there. They cover it up.
oh,
I
she's
guess.
got that Cindy Crawford mole.
They cover it up. Oh shit! They cover it up in the movie.
Oh, whatever.
Hidden.
Yeah, she's got a.
They should have
she's
kept
got a
it.
mole.
Beauty mole.
Yeah, that's fucking hot.
Looks good.
Oh,
But
that's all there.
for Will Smith's role, like I thought he did a pretty good job as the genie. I mean, he wasn't at the level of Robin Williams, and he talks about how he didn't want to try to beat like Robin Williams or whatever. He tried to be Will Smith basically, and that's basically what he
She
did.
was in Power Rangers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she
a
was
Pink
a Pink
Ranger.
Ranger.
Oh shit!
Yeah, she's been in a few things.
Ranger.
She's doing a thing right
So the Blue Ranger was in that fucking.
He's on Striking
He's
Vipers.
in Striking Vipers. Yeah.
Oh
Holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
I watched y'all go over that. I saw half y'all cringing, grabbing y'all nuts, like I don't know what to do.
Dude,
Striking Vipers fucked me up.
the sweetest would not fucking talking about that goddamn episode.
I
She was
haven't
like, you
accepted
better
a friend
never-
request online since. Fuck y'all.
She was like, "You better never cheat on me virtually." I'm like, "How? What? What?"
You going in that VR every night though, bro.
Yeah, man, you ain't coming back. That's all bad. I will never look at Street Fighter the same ever again.
I think of it way more as Tekken, because he said the panda shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, he did
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
panda shit. I felt like everyone kept saying Mortal Kombat. I'm like, no,
Nah.
no.
Now this is
Well-
this is a Tekken wannabe.
Yeah, it is definitely. I just feel like Tekken and Street Fighter merged into this.
But you know what's so funny is that okay, there's this fighting game, it's a virtual fighting game, and you can fuck in it. It's like it's not even a fighting game anymore because people are just going there and fucking hooking up. Because like the guy even talked about how he goes into like orgy parties and shit like that inside the virtual world.
Nobody's fighting in those games.
Yeah.
It's like The Sims. It's like when you mod The Sims where everyone can fuck. It's like that.
So like I'm not sure if we really answered. I know we talked about like if it was gay or not that he was smashing his homeboy or whatever in virtual world. But like the other question is like I'm not sure if we talked about it, but is it cheating?
Oh god damn it! This is
Yeah, that's rough. There's a super gray area.
Does it
Yeah,
matter?
man.
Wait,
It's
so
like when you watch porn, is it cheating?
Yeah, that's what it comes to. But then again, it's like
but
if
this
there's-
is interactive, and you most likely nutted.
So,
Oh.
if you watch porn and you jack off to that porn, is it cheating?
I'm gonna say no.
But then again,
know.
if you look at it
Well,
like as
this
in text,
It's still you pleasuring yourself.
Hold on. In this, you're interacting with someone else that's live. This is multiplayer.
But you're not really.
Yeah, it's virtual.
You're a virtual interaction
Well,
with another player. So you're basically multiplayer fucking.
Nope. I mean, sort of, but no.
but then
Not
it,
touching them.
Whereas if you're watching porn, it's you and your medium.
but what if
There's
you're
no
watching
one
like
else
a
involved.
webcam
So
girl?
VR is a medium.
So
Yeah.
webcams could be faked, right? You can do just images and have pre-programmed prompts.
There's still nut on your shorts.
Yeah, but it's just you and your content.
But the same
versus
thing-
you
but
and
same-
someone else.
So hold on.
Because you can direct, just like if you're watching a live cam girl, then yeah, you're directing what they're doing.
Okay, hold on. Old Ninja, the only person in this room that is not in a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
If you watch porn and you jack off thinking of that porn, wouldn't that be the same thing?
Yeah.
Yep.
With the media playing, or you're just so
Playing or not,
thinking of
even
it.
if it's playing. If you jack out to fucking porn play, thinking of that chick, watching her do whatever.
You stumped him.
Yeah, no, I'm not stumped. I'm trying to think. Is this like a loophole? Because you're still solo. There's no one else you're interacting with. Look,
They're still
if you're
solo too.
they're not solo because they're doing virtual reality.
It's virtual. It's not real.
Yeah, but
By
you still,
definition, it's not real.
they'll still nut it, especially
and you
from the
still nut
stimulus.
when you jack off to
So,
somebody's shit.
in Striking Vipers, someone else is giving you stimuli. They're actually performing an action that is stimulating you.
But
Okay,
not
so
directly.
what if you get a fleshlight and you're watching some porn and you're jacking after that person with the fleshlight?
Is it clean?
Well,
What about one of the interactive flashlights where the person on the other side can actually control
that
it?
was my next level.
Yeah, because I know that.
Yeah.
You can remote control the dildo sometimes too. in
Oh
terms
yeah,
of,
with your fucking iPhone and shit.
Yeah, that's
this is
super
some next
gray.
level ethical shit.
That's
Yeah.
some super great area.
Because you also can think of it like this way too. It's like, it's sexting cheating.
Oh, that's
so
true.
literally just words, no pictures, as a text, but it's sexy talk.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Obviously, it depends on who you talk to.
yeah,
but, you know.
that's true too. I guess if you get caught beating off watching porn, is someone gonna be? If you're in a relationship watching porn, is someone gonna get mad if they catch you versus you doing VR with someone else? You're about to get your rocks off and they catch you.
Depends on that relationship.
So you got to check out some
Rules.
VR porn, because man, So if you ever experience VR porn, you can understand VR porn is basically one step below cheating. Like you're not fucking this person, but you're kind of fucking this person.
But isn't it another actor portraying you in the VR?
So when you're watching, your brain does not differentiate. I've done it. I've
Yeah.
watched VR porn a couple times.
So I've
It's
done
like-
it. Like, wait, what?
It's so close to fucking reality, and they have they have apparatuses that do everything for you. So.
Oh yeah, I've seen the Oathbreakers timeline. People all strapped in fucking waifu pillows
What
and
is it?
shit.
Somebody used I think it was called the Novant Falcon.
What
It's
the-
like it's basically a 3-dimensional mouse,
Oh yeah.
and they hooked that up to a fleshlight, and they hooked that up to VR. So basically, everything that was in VR, they were doing to your dick.
Love it.
With, yeah, I was just like, dude, this picture is
Yes. Cannot wait. Cyberpunk 2077.
yeah. Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Uh,
Oh, that's right. Because they confirmed that you can fuck in that game.
Oh yeah, dude. You could fuck at least 2, maybe more, in The Witcher 3.
Dude, you can fuck in Mass Effect.
Yeah, I mean, oh god damn it. I wish Andromeda was a good solid game.
You
This
can-
generation could have used a
you can-
fucking good Mass Effect.
You
So-
can fuck in Andromeda.
Since we're on the gaming, can we talk about bullshit Anita Sarkeesian trying to wiggle her way back into
go right ahead.
relevancy?
Yeah, boy.
Is this the white chick, right?
Well,
cares?
so
I'll go and
she's
go over it.
not white.
I don't know what you.
I think she's Middle Eastern of some sort. Her heritage.
Yeah, it
Okay.
doesn't
It's
ma-
irrelevant. She's a cunt.
Yeah, I'm all doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
She's a cunt. I don't care what ethnicity she is. She's a cunt. So she tried to wiggle her way back into gaming life by saying
that
that
chick.
that she's not impressed by the women being
Represented.
representative in E3. And I'm just like, I don't care.
Nobody asked you, and
Yeah,
I don't
nobody
care.
asked you. And her own, like, quote unquote data, the data that did not include any sort of opinion other than her own,
Yeah.
and her echo chamber.
Yep.
Her own echo chamber shit showed that being able to choose between the genders was on the rise.
Yes.
Oh no! It was vast majority.
Yes.
Yep.
And
So
that point alone shows me that she does not give a fuck about equality. Because if the majority of the games that are out there gives you the option to choose between 2 genders,
Yep.
or sexes or whatever the fuck you want to call it in today's term, and you're still mad about it, then you don't give a shit about sex to begin
The-
like any of that shit to begin with.
Because she flipped her argument, then it was a doubling down of, well, even with that being the case of being able to choose, I need an increase in exclusively no choice female leads. And I'm like,
That's not equality.
yeah. And here's the thing. If you get more opportunities to choose, you can make all of those games, if you decide to buy them and play them, female-led games. You,
Well,
you know what I mean?
And the thing that she does not understand, and this is what I believe 100%, is that she thinks that all men that play females in games are doing it to watch the female jiggle and gyrate. That is not
Not
true
always.
whatsoever.
Not always.
Not true at all. Listen, the first time I played as a female character was in
Croft?
the original fucking Metroid.
Metroid,
And once I realized that it was a woman after I played it twice, I was like, oh, that's cool.
yeah.
You know, that's how most people like took that game. It's like, oh, I'm a woman, I guess. That's cool.
Bounty hunter.
Nobody got their mind blown. Nobody fucking put the game down, never played it again. Everybody thought that Metro was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And for people that today that have the choice between a man and a woman, depending on the game, you might pick a woman. Listen, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which even though it fucked up on me, I picked Cassandra.
Yeah, so did I. I'm
Easy,
playing it
hands
now.
down.
I'm playing it. Everybody said to pick Cassandra because
Yeah.
it's the experience of the closest thing you'll have to an experience of playing a Wonder Woman video game.
Yeah, and it was fucking awesome. But she doesn't play games. She doesn't at all. She's not a gamer. She doesn't understand how games work. She doesn't understand the industry at all.
And nobody on this planet promised you that there was going to be exactly 5,000 games with female leads and exactly 5,000 games with male leads. Nobody promised that to anybody. And there was never a mention anywhere in the history of gaming where that was a guaranteed thing that was promised to the gaming public. No Nintendo Power magazines, nothing.
Yeah, it would be like men expecting for an equal representation of men's makeup.
Yeah.
Because, with perfectly honest here, games back in the day and even to this day, they're still mainly played by men.
Yeah, it's a
And
majority.
the fact that you're getting even this sort of split is a fucking miracle.
Yep.
It really is.
Yep.
And I'm not complaining at all because I don't mind playing as women at all, like I mentioned in the past. I think it's really cool. I think it's cool to have diverse characters, but I do not want to have diversity for diversity's sake. I'll keep saying on this fucking podcast and panels and anywhere else I can. I was here for fucking Mountaintop. You cannot have diversity for diversity's sake. It doesn't fucking work.
I'm gonna say this too. Never once have I, or probably anybody else on this cast, you guys speak up if I'm speaking out of turn for you. Have you complained about romance novels?
No.
In terms of, it caters to a predominantly female audience. You know that the character, you're going to see an overwhelming number of female characters and then really beefed up guys like on the cover. I don't care. I don't care about any type of Fabio-looking dude on the cover of romance novels. They're not my thing. I don't read them. I leave them alone. If video games are not your thing, I don't see how you can have a problem with the way fictional characters are dressed or the amount of them in a title. I just don't get it.
Well, and there's
No, go ahead. Just get in there.
Well, you had a fit about Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat.
I did not have a fit. I just said that very clearly.
You said you felt something was taken from you because there's not enough titty physics or fucking skin showing or whatever.
That's not quite what I said. What I said was I didn't have an interest in this particular title, and it seemed odd to me that they changed not the titty physics, but the actual dress of certain characters, such as Melina and Katana, who were in games 30 years ago in essentially bikinis, and Sonya Blade in essentially a sports bra, and it was never a problem then. In this one, they are much more covered up for the decision of Ed Boon and Warner Brothers. They decided that. I don't have to support it. I noticed it, but I didn't throw a fit about it. I just said it was weird.
So, when I first heard you say that, I had a problem with it, but I had to do some, I guess, internal conversation with myself. Listen, all these people that have problems with female representation, especially in fighting games, they say that they're not dressed enough, blah, blah, blah. All right, so I'll take Street Fighter for a perfect example. All right, people want to complain about Cammy and Chun-Li and any other fucking female fighter that's in Street Fighter because they're sexualized and they're underdressed. Not one of them complain about Zangief or Dalsim or fucking any other fucking E Honda, any other men that are in that game that have less clothing on than all the women.
Yep.
Nobody says anything. And it's so now I understand your argument with Mortal Kombat. they did not change the way, like the basic structure or the uniforms with the Mortal Kombat male characters.
No.
They're all almost all yoked as fuck except for even Honda. He's fat and yoked.
Yes.
All right. All the other characters they're yoked. They have like fucking 0% body fat. They're wearing fucking basically just underwear.
Yep.
And nobody has a problem with that.
Yeah. And just to piggyback on that, and I've said this before on that same cast, if you rewind the tape, it was never there was no nudity in any of these fighting games from Mortal Kombat to Street Fighter. You're talking about a T for teen, not an M for mature game, where there's not a true overt sexiness per
Hold
se.
on, I have to pause you right there. Only once. All right, I forget what character it was, but it's in Mortal Kombat where she shows her titties. She turns away from the
turns
camera.
away. Yeah.
Oh,
shows her titties.
That's
and
actually
I think it's
that's actually Killer Instinct with Orchid.
Yeah, be Orchid.
So Orchid
Yeah.
flashes her tits and then you faint.
No,
Yeah,
no,
but-
I thought you exploded.
No, you faint. You
Okay.
like die.
But again, just to be clear for those who haven't played it, not into the camera.
Yeah.
You don't see
No.
nipples, you don't see vag, you don't see dick, you don't see pussy. That's not in these games.
Meanwhile, you can punch dudes in the nuts all day, and they X-ray in the nuts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nobody gives a fuck.
Exactly.
Like you can see their testicles exploding.
And it's supposed to be an exaggerated and fun simulated fighting experience. That's at the end of the day. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's
not real.
It's not real. These characters aren't real. It should be fun. And someone in a sports bra didn't ruin it in the 90s.
Yeah, and what's funny to me is that people complain about that, but we have, in this day and age, we have literal female fighters, and what do they fight in?
Sports bras.
Sports bras and fucking like little panties or like skirts with panties on. You know what I mean? It's like the reason why you do that is because you want somebody grabbing onto your shit. Even like when I do jiu-jitsu, I'm in the fucking tightest, like no-gi anyway. Mm-hmm. I basically look like a fucking superhero.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the tightest clothes as possible so somebody can't grab onto my shit and pull me with it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And nobody has a problem with it.
No, there isn't. It's very funny. And Anita, this is her shtick. This is her.
She's a fucking fraud.
Yeah, she wants all the attention, and she gets the attention because she gets people going.
Well,
you know?
she was saying with like CD Projekt Red, she was like soliciting her services, whatever the fuck that is, saying that she'll work with CD Projekt Red to like make it like sexist. First of all, the game isn't even fucking out yet.
Yeah, because she knows more about how to make a great video game than CD Projekt Red, the makers of The Witcher.
Exactly.
Are you kidding
Somebody
me?
that's literally made zero games whatsoever. It's like me going to the Pentagon, like, listen, hey, I got some good fucking ideas. I know what we could do to fucking make this country safer. Actually, well, I do, but because I have more background in like defense than she does in video games.
No shit.
Like she has no idea what the fuck she's talking about. She has no background in the gaming industry besides complaining about shit that she doesn't even fucking play.
And there's a lot of. I'm sorry. I know. Just
No.
real quick, there are
Absolutely.
a shit ton of female gamers who buy games, enjoy games, stream games, play the shit out of them, with things that she wants to complain about.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that gets lost. The female gamers that I know, they don't give a fuck about this bitch, and they're like, whatever, I'm playing Tekken. Whatever, I'm playing, Final Fantasy. Whatever it is, they keep playing and enjoying their games, and I love them for that.
Yeah, like
That's gamers.
My favorite character. So I used to go to tournaments for Tekken, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the number one character that I used was Nina Williams.
Yeah.
It was not because she was a woman. Wasn't because she looked sexy. It was
combo.
because she had the she had the best fucking skill set of the whole fucking game. If y'all don't understand that shit, you can fight me, I guess.
Yeah.
Fight me in Tekken, I'll fuck you up. I'm just saying, she had basically the whole package in the game. You know what I mean?
She was OP.
Yeah, she
Even-
really was.
Even Chung-Li had a good combo with her kicks and stuff like that.
She did,
She knew how
but
to use them.
Nina
Yeah, she
Williams,
knows.
she's like underrated. Like seriously, she had throws like king. She had combos. She had the best fucking combos.
Yep.
Kicks and shit. She just fuck you up.
She would embarrass people.
Yeah.
Sorry,
even
get
like-
old ninja, get it. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say even for a female game, like where females are the main characters, like for example, like Horizon Zero Dawn and like Lara Croft and games like that. Like those games do really well.
Yeah.
And they do. I feel like they do a pretty good job of like representing like ladies. Like Lara Croft, for example, she's like flexible and she uses her guns and she solves puzzles and shit.
They had a
Yeah, but
whole-
she's gonna say, look at her titties though.
Yeah.
Like, why are you looking at her titties? First of all, when you're playing the game, it's from the third
It's
person
from- yeah,
view,
from-
so
seen
you don't
from
see her
behind.
fucking titties.
It's only her ass.
Yeah. And I'm not even looking at. I'm looking at the environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Lara Croft is my avatar in the game.
Yeah.
And I'm not. If you check out her ass the whole time, you're not going to do well in that game.
Yeah,
She
you're
didn't
gonna
have a
die.
great ass.
Yeah.
But I'll tell
No,
you
yes,
what,
she
though,
did.
old girl from Uncharted 4's DLC had a nice ass.
Oh wait. Oh, you mean the Lost
Lost Legacy?
Yo, Zoe?
Yeah, Zoe had a little thickness to it.
So that she points out those games, but she doesn't give them like super credit. She
know.
focuses more on the. What I want to know is what Annie Henning thinks about Anita Sarkeesian.
Ooh, that would be fun to hear.
I want to
actually.
know
Uncensored.
her thoughts because she's been in the industry for 2 decades.
Tell who she's
So
where she's from.
Annie Henning is a games writer and creator for the Uncharted series, as well as the defunct like Star Wars game, which probably maybe Fallen Order. She also worked on, I think there's one other game that I can't think of, but she's an amazing writer. I think she was consultant for Dead Space, like real
Maybe.
quick. Nothing huge, but they went to her because they know her skills and they know she can write. And she's been given top honors by the game industry itself.
Yep.
So what happened at Visceral was a shame. I was super waiting with bated breath on her working on fucking Star Wars. I'm super upset that folded.
Yeah, that's.
But she's like an icon, basically. In fact, she's on, if you can watch an old episode of G4's Icons,
Yeah.
she's on there.
Yeah.
And this is before like the current generation of shit. This is like years ago.
Yeah. Can I say this real quickly too? It depends on the game itself. There are some games that are going to be overtly sexual.
Yeah, and some
Now-
of them now, especially now, will tell you ahead of time.
Of course it will, and I'm okay with the artistic freedom to do so. For a lot of people who just started and only played the most recent 2018 version of God of War, I didn't recognize this Kratos because the Kratos in all the other games was fucking Greek girls and making them titties bounce and get them red orbs.
Yeah, but he
Like,
had a kid.
yeah.
You can't be fucking with a kid around you.
Put them blindfolds on. Put them earmuffs. Go in the
Dude.
next room.
Fucking
Let him learn how to be a man.
Oh.
But yeah, but
damn.
in Saints Row, I played, as a big tittied She-Hulk girl with pasties on.
Yeah.
It always depends on the game. That's very different from Horizon Zero Dawn and
'cause-
Tomb Raider. But I like the variety. There's going to be certain characters that are all going to have the sexiness, male and female.
Oh,
and that's okay.
Speaking of which, the big hit, one of the big hits of this year, Resident Evil 2, the remake.
Woo.
You can be
Might be
either
my game of the year.
you can be Claire or Leon. I started with Claire. I haven't played Leon's campaign yet. I need to. I've been meaning to because I want to beat it in under 3 hours, but there's a lot of shit to do.
Yep.
And I need to set a time, but still.
Well, and again, we mentioned this 3-4 years ago, but people didn't understand how awesome Quiet in Metal Gear Solid 5's story was. They just looked at a girl in a bikini and some fishnets and a big gun and said, "Oh, that's sexist."
Yeah.
Well, it actually fit into the story, but you didn't play the fucking game. And even if it didn't fit into the story, you're not Hideo Kojima. You know what I mean? He decided to have this character this way. If you don't like it, don't play the game.
Yeah, what's funny to me is this kind of relates to Conker's Bad Fur Day. Because
back in the day, yeah.
back in the day, this was on the family-friendly Nintendo 64 with cutesy, cuddly characters with the Super Mario 64 controls, but it has adult content.
Yep.
There's sexual jokes, there's cursing, there's a shit monster in the fucking game. I mean, and everyone loved it. It's still talked about to this day.
Yep.
Because it was, despite its raunchiness, it's still a great game. And nobody bitches about it. I mean, there's literally a plant with like anime titties that you bounce on to get to the next level.
Yep.
It's hilarious, but no one's, I mean, I guess maybe because they're not humanized, I guess, or they're
You're talking
like,
about N64 days.
yeah, but
Or
I mean,
Super
like
Nintendo,
with
whatever.
going back to with Anna or Anita is talking about like characters that are solidly female, where you are fixed to be this character. I guess she's just not happy that there's not enough. But I think
Nobody promised there would be.
I think the better move for the industry as a whole is to give players choice And that's what a lot of people care more about, I think, is give your player the choice.
You know what it's like though too. Every now and again, I hear some people complain about, oh, there's not enough black characters in certain games, and then I always flip it on them and ask, okay, well, did you play Mafia 3? Did you play Assassin's Creed Origins? Did you play Watch Dogs 2? Did you, when I challenge them and say, hey, there's games from this generation that had black leads, did you purchase them? Most of the time, they say no.
Well, it's the same thing with comics. Like, I always ask people, like, oh, we need more diverse comics. I'm like, well, what are you reading?
Yeah, exactly.
And I name all these comics off that they haven't read. I'm just like, well, why aren't you reading those?
Yeah.
Like,
you like to complain.
Yeah, like you are part of the problem. If you do not support those types of media with whatever kind of ethnicity that you want to see or gender that you want to see, then you're part of the problem. Don't just sit there and fucking complain. Buy the fucking comics.
And
Y'all fucked over power lines, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly. But I also say this too. You can even better. You can learn to code. You can get a group of like-minded individuals and make some low-budget. They're not gonna be AAA titles, but you can make some video games as tests.
So I will be fair.
Okay.
All right. So what you said is totally valid. For most people, pretty much fucking impossible.
I know.
Yeah,
But-
it's not easy.
Unless you have those skills. But yeah.
Right. But for Anita Sarkeesian, she had a fucking GoFundMe account.
Yep.
All right. Or some sort of like.
It was a GoFundMe.
Was it GoFundMe?
It was
Yeah.
GoFundMe.
Where she could directly use that money to create her own fucking studio to tell people she could have been a producer, and she could have told the game makers and paid them, told them exactly what she wanted to see in a video game, and they could have fucking made it, and she could have saw it fucking bomb.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Nobody buy
But
it.
she didn't. She took the coward's way out. She decided to use that money to critique the industry on shit that she didn't want to see. Meanwhile, she was not willing to use her own money and money that people paid to her to make something that she thought the industry wanted to see, that the users wanted to see, the gamers wanted to see. Because she knows in the back of her mind, that's not what they want to see because it's boring as fuck.
The other thing I saw in that same article about it, I think it was Feminist Frequency or whatever, they want a reduction in the amount of violence in video games.
Oh, yeah, I heard about
Isn't it
this.
funny how the scope keeps creeping?
Yeah.
You know?
There's no reduction of violence.
What the fuck?
I want to
Play
see.
a puzzle game.
I want to see more fucking violence. in
Yeah,
video games.
Yeah.
Doom
Just
Eternal.
saying. Yeah. Sick.
Yeah.
More fucking violence. in video
More battlefield with more shit blowing up.
Yeah.
I need to run people over with a fucking tank.
Well, it goes back to the same myth that we've heard since we were growing up. Oh, if you're playing video games that are violent, you are a violent, evil person. You're a serial killer. None of which could be true because the number of people who have played violent video games is only going up over the last 30 years.
and the violent crime has gone down.
Yeah.
You know what's hilarious to me? Like, listen, if you don't want to play violent video games, guess what? You don't have to buy them.
Don't do it.
Or just buy a Switch.
Yeah.
So anyone who
Well, and that had Doom on it. You know what I mean? That has some games
They're getting
on it.
better with it now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
buy a Wii.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, you do not. Nothing is forcing you to buy a violent video game.
No.
If you have children, you tell them we're not getting violent video games.
course.
But my kids, to this. I mean, my oldest daughter, she's 16 now. She's gonna turn 17 this year, a couple months.
Crazy.
I'm just now, letting the reins go. We're like, listen, you can watch violent stuff now, some violent stuff. I'm still uncomfortable like watching like TVMA stuff with her because I don't want to see titties in the same room with you. It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
All right, you know what I mean? But if you want to do it on your own, sort of like you're around that age, 17, I'm just the reins are pretty much all off. Yeah. It's close enough. You know who the fuck what you want to see, and I can't stop you.
Yep.
But I think that full-grown adults that want to sit there and be like, we need less violent games. Play the less violent. There's more less violent games than there are violent games.
Yeah. There's
Because
plenty of puzzle
That's
platform. Yeah.
literally where a lot of the money is.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Some of the highest-selling games of all time are violent video games.
Yeah.
But guess what? Most of the other video games out there are non-violent.
Yeah. There's a good mix.
Yeah.
There's a really good
Like the
mix.
highest video games of all time, I think Mario and like Tetris are at the very fucking top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Non-violent.
Yeah.
I think Tetris is at number 1, isn't it?
Something. It's way
It's
up
up
there. It's
there.
probably Mario, but yeah. In any event, you got platformers, you got puzzle games, you got a whole bunch of stuff. But if you don't like violent video games, don't play them.
But that's how you know that she is not really a gamer or paying attention to video games because she's not willing to actually play these games and realize that there's choices. Yeah, we're looking at it right now. So it's Tetris, the top 10 video games of all time. Go ahead, say it, Blue. It's on your
So top 10.
Just go back and have them on the list.
Yeah, let me go back. So one was Tetris, which sold 170 million. Minecraft.
There you
number
go.
Oh,
two.
there you go.
Wii Sport is
There you
3.
go.
Oh, there you go.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is 4.
Uh,
5 is Super Mario
extra
Brothers,
Little violent.
and 6 is Mario Kart Wii.
Oh
go.
shit.
So get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Like
Flip.
literally, you're focusing on things that are. Don't get me wrong, they're selling well, but they're not the highest selling games of all time.
No.
So-
for a certain reason, because responsible adults, even though in modern times, a lot of adults become less responsible with their kids, but still, responsible parents will tell their kids, "You are not playing these violent ass video games as a child."
Call of Duty, Halo, and the Halos that are rated M for mature, and Doom and all those Grand Theft Auto, they're not for kids. They never were, and they're not. That's why you have the whole ESRB rating system.
Most of these games are Nintendo games. Like there's fucking Pokemon Blue and Red on here for the Game Boy or the Game Boy Advance,
those
whatever.
Were huge. Again, cutesy,
Oh,
straightforward.
yeah.
New Super Mario Brothers.
People still play Pokemon Go. I thought that game died. Apparently not. People still going hard on that shit.
No, it makes perfect sense. But trying to eliminate anyway, we've repeated ourselves. Trying to eliminate those games. is ridiculous. Can we get to the B's and B's?
I got one for you.
What you got?
So this is Striking Vipers related.
Damn it.
So with Cyberpunk 2077, you can be male or female. There will be multiplayer, as they have stated later on, not at launch.
Okay.
If you're playing multiplayer, are you gonna fuck another player if you are of a different sex?
No.
Wait. What?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Or would you? Not are you? Would you?
No.
Wouldn't the point of multiplayer be like team deathmatch, capture the flag?
Well,
bullshit?
it could be different in
If,
this game.
we don't know if they let you fuck other people.
I mean,
if that's
what if you could do Mass Effect, like true multiplayer? You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
Like
Mass
MMO.
Effect has horde mode.
Okay.
Or
You know what?
whatever.
I bet you that's what they're gonna make next is a Mass Effect MMO to like fix shit.
That would be nice if they could get it right.
Yeah.
So, Blue didn't answer.
I don't think I would. I think if it was like for example,
Because you're not interacting, you're just watching like two characters go at it. But yet they're being controlled by someone else.
nah.
So can I be 100% honest right
Go
now?
ahead.
All right.
That seems
So
fun.
with the Mass Effect games, the whole romance thing
You
wasn't really
like
my deal. I mean, it was cool to fucking Alien because I thought that the blue chick was hot.
Oh, Liara, she's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Definitely to fuck her in real life.
Oh yeah,
And,
but
and that one chick that
Miranda
Yeah,
Lawson,
Miranda.
holy shit.
Yeah, but it's just like in a video game, it's just like that's generally speaking, I don't like to mix shit like that with a game. There's some romance stuff that's okay, but there's two things. So first of all, it's not real, and then second of all, it's you're not gonna see anything, right? You might see a titty, maybe.
Yeah, you don't see nipple.
Yeah, it's nothing that will like get me off. So it's just like if I want to watch porn, I'll watch porn.
But
You know.
in Cyberpunk, you see full on TD.
Maybe
It's in the demo.
You've seen titties in games before, but it's still
No.
not. It's not something that's gonna like get me horny. You know what I mean? It's like
It's not gonna be 4K porn.
yeah. I'm just like
we
okay,
don't know.
there's a titty in a game. There's a titty in a game.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to like hacking people and like fucking them up.
Yep.
You know,
Exploring that city.
I'm not playing the game to look at titties. What?
Yeah, well, I have to see more of it. Probably not in multiplayer, because again, in multiplayer, I think of more the tactical team-based, fucking people up and shooting and all that other good stuff. Now in the game itself, like in The Witcher, I thought they had some of the best sex scenes with Trish and Yennefer and all that stuff, and Geralt. But we'll see. More campaign than multiplayer for me. What you got?
Oh, for sure. That was it.
All right.
Oh, no. Well, did we answer Dirty Stu's Mount Rushmore question?
What was it? Mount Rushmore of what?
So, who was your Mount Rushmore of comic artist or writer, or writer?
I didn't do any fucking research on the comic writers stuff. Can we save that for one more week?
I gotta pass on that one. I don't know any comic book. Only
Yeah.
person I can think of is Jim Lee, and that's just because I saw him at San Diego Comic Con.
And I want to be respectful to
Wait,
some
wait,
of the greats.
What was the question?
Like
Your
the
Mount
Mount
Rushmore
Rushmore
of-
of the comic greats. Can we save it though for
Comic
okay.
writers or artists?
Yeah, let's save
Okay.
it for one more week.
Okay, so we'll save it for one more week. But I will say, along the same topic, one of my favorite artists of all time. He's on definitely the Mount Rushmore of artists for comic books. Is Trad Moore. All right, he's the guy I was first introduced with Luther Strode.
Yeah.
It was written by Justin Jordan. And Trad Moore is now the artist for Silver Surfer Black. Which came out last week. And goddamn, it's a fucking beautifully drawn and colored comic. It's trippy as fuck. It basically, some parts are like you're on acid.
Yes.
It is so fucking good. I really hope to get Trad Moore someday on this fucking podcast, but he's hard to get a hold of. At least a couple years ago he was.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out a way to get a hold of him. But I really want to talk to this dude and like have him on the podcast because I love his fucking artwork. And he also did the latest run of when the Ghost Rider.
Oh yeah.
With Jaime Reyes. Was it not Jaime Reyes? What's the guy's name?
So you're
Oh, I know you're talking.
Punisher.
No,
No.
the Hispanic guy.
Yeah, he's Hispanic, but it's not Jaime Reyes.
Oh,
Yeah,
you mean
yeah.
of
He's
Ghost Rider? Yeah.
Ghost Rider.
Because he's
It's,
on Agents of
Jaime
S.H.I.E.L.D. too.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it
not
Jaime
Jaime.
Reyes?
No,
it's not
Jaime
Jaime.
Reyes.
Jaime
It's
Reyes
Jaime
is-
something.
That's
He's
Blue
Blue
Beetle.
Beetle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Jaime something, right?
His name is something. Is it Hector?
Carlos?
We have the internet in front of us.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I have the fucking comic too. But anyway.
Dude, so like when they have Ghost Rider appear in Agents of Shield,
That
the
shit
quality
was
of that
dope.
fucking show goes from like
It
a
goes
6
through
to
the
like
fucking
100,
roof.
dude. It's so fucking good.
It was fucking dope.
Something, it was Rodriguez? Maybe Hector Rodriguez or something
Hold
like
on,
that?
I got it. Keep going.
But all I know is that Trad Moore, he is
Robbie Reyes.
Robbie
Robbie
Reyes.
Reyes. Okay. Goddamn, I got Jaime out of nowhere.
To me, he's the most exciting, one of the most exciting modern artists for comics.
Good shit.
Like seriously, if y'all don't like, just look him up. Go on his DeviantArt page. One of these days, I'm gonna buy some of his artwork. It's a little expensive for like some of his shit.
Hang it up in
But,
the new studio.
Yeah, definitely will. Actually, you know what? I'll buy one of his expensive pieces
Yeah.
when the studio opens.
There
I'll
we
put it
go.
back.
Old Ninja, let's take it out. What you got populating this week besides crash debate?
I kind of want to see this like zombie flick that came out with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren.
Dead Don't Die.
Yeah, with Bill Murray and there's a bunch of people. But I guess it's an indie film because it's not playing everywhere.
Nope.
So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm trying
It's
to
got
see
some big
that.
names in it too.
Yeah, it's got hella people in it, but it looks fucking dope. So I'm gonna try to check this shit out. Gonna be playing the Division because Division had new shit added.
New DLC.
So
Yes.
they added a new specialization.
Yeah,
and if you got year one, you get it for fucking free.
I got it. Well, I played it briefly just to see what it was. It's a fucking minigun.
Yes, it is.
So, and I looked at the actual skill tree for the special. I was like, holy shit. It's
So
insane.
the skill tree they changed for all of them. If you looked at if you saw your specializations, they're reset. They give you back
Yeah,
all your
reset
points,
mine, yeah.
so you have to go back because now you can pick whatever weapon for your class in order for your specialization to be more powerful.
Well, but it's crazy because I have like 135 points in like one specialization only.
Yeah. Well, they added some. There's more there's a bigger tree
Oh,
for
check it
each
out.
one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh shit. For each specific class, there's one weapon that will have an extra leaf to the tree, which means they prefer you, I guess, to use it, but they're not forcing you to use it. So, and then they added a couple new perks for each of the classes. So I was like, holy shit. I literally took me a few minutes to study to see what I wanted. The new class has a riot foam grenade.
Yeah.
So I was like, what the fuck? It's fucked up because they keep fucking dodging. I wish that if you throw it and they run through it, they would stick, but it doesn't work that way. But whatever.
Well, you're playing it wrong. You have to you shoot at them so they stop moving. Then you throw and you keep
Yeah,
shooting at them.
you can suppress them. I have gloves where you can cook the grenade.
Oh, nice.
So you can cook it and then chuck it, which is dope. Which is really handy if you're running the demolition. For those of you who don't know, the cooking the grenades pretty dope. There are specific gloves that will let you do that. So I'm gonna try to twitch out some of that shit. Stitches beat the raid. I have not beaten it.
You
I'm
beat
gonna
it
try.
twice.
Yeah, I beat it twice. Fucking dick.
I didn't play it
So you haven't played it? Ooh.
No, I'm not like, what?
I thought you were the first one.
65? No, well, remember I was playing it and then I played it for a while and then I had to stop playing for a little bit and then Stitch, he had circumstances where he basically played all day.
Yeah.
So he definitely eclipsed me on that. So good job, Stitch.
Yeah. So yeah, gonna be doing that. I'm probably gonna play tonight. I actually went back to No Man's Sky because they updated it with new.
Again.
Yeah, they updated with new fucking underwater submerged submarine shit. There's like I think a motorcycle or some shit.
Oh, damn.
Hella shit. New creatures and shit. And I was like, oh shit. So I'm gonna try to get a hold of that. Yeah, that's kind of it.
Blue, what you got?
Oh shit.
Oh, Jessica Jones too.
Actually, I got nothing going on this weekend. Fucking chilling.
No photo shoots?
I got one on Monday. So I was supposed to do a photo shoot a couple of weeks ago, but the weather was just fucking insane when we had that giant fucking heat wave. But yeah, I'm supposed to have a photo shoot on Monday. I was gonna go to LA to go try to see my father because I couldn't go down there for Father's Day. But I might go the following week. But nothing big planned. Oh, might go to the fucking county fairs in town, so might go check that out. Yeah, I think the San Mateo County Fair is going on too. I might want to go check that one out. I've never been to one. Yeah,
Do them all. County fairs.
I just want to eat fucking food.
Cronus, what you got?
All right, so as you can see, I'm neck brace free.
Yeah.
So my neck is better, but it's not 100%. I'll be doing jiu-jitsu tomorrow for the first time in basically a week. So hopefully it holds together and I don't break my neck further. Because it's still fucked up. It's still hard for me to look that way, but I'll get over it.
There you go.
Other than that, my oldest daughter is here. She's 16 and she has her license now.
Oh boy.
Which is fucking weird as shit. Because I mean, I guess I am old because she's almost an adult, but you know, whatever. So I have to buy her. Well, I don't have to, but I'm buying her a car, and she starts her pre-college for the Academy of Arts University in San Francisco next month.
Nice.
So she's doing a jewelry making and sculpturing. So I'm really looking forward to her doing that and just growing as a person.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been really cool.
Almost grown. I heard really good things. I think the Borderlands 2 free DLC, kind of prepping everybody for the Borderlands 3 launching in September, is about to be out or already is out.
It's already out.
Okay, so I need to download that because on PlayStation Plus it was a free. The Handsome Collection was free.
Yeah.
And so
Plus, I think Borderlands 2 is free too, wasn't it?
well, that's in the Handsome Collection.
Okay.
Yeah, so that just seems awesome. I want to jump back into Pandora. I did, as I mentioned, jump into Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's fucking awesome.
It is.
I don't know why I waited so goddamn long. It feels just as good as Origins in a lot of fucking ways. And you know me, I'm going to watch. We're almost at the end of JoJo.
And Attack on
5.
Titan. Which
Oh, and Attack on Titan. We got to talk about that next week.
Yeah, we were too deep.
Boy.
And Resident Evil Hero.
Yeah.
And fucking Demon Slayer.
Oh,
I'm
man.
just saying.
There's some fire anime out right now.
I feel like we need to like have segments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah, we'll do a hardcore anime session. And speaking of which, you watched some Promised Neverland, right?
Not
No?
yet.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right, that's all good.
All right, check us out. We are Black and Black times Infinity. Check us out on Twitter at BTHAN BTHAN. Our official website, binheadproductions.com/BTBTI. We are also on, what's our new site? Radio.
We're on Radio Republic.
There you go.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
So if we can go on there, it's an easier way for us to get paid.
And then check us out
Radio
anywhere.
Public, yeah.
Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, we gonna be there.
Give feedback.
And we will soon go to Spotify.
There we go.
Thought we were already there.
No,
Check out our Instagram. You can see photos of my shirt that we talked about.
And my nuts.
Oh, we gotta.
Just kidding. Just kidding.